I started an impossible challenge 5 years ago: save UMass football and win a national championship. This season, we have our best shot yet at getting to the playoffs, but due to restrictions like only recruiting from these states, playing on the hardest difficulty in sliders, and facing 10 top 25 teams a season, I haven't been able to build a roster that I'd feel comfortable making a playoff push with. At least some of our starters are finally getting some experience though. Quarterback Von Meekins is on his 3rd year, and he will continue to progress. He already took a pretty big leap forward last season, which was really nice, and then he'll be thrown to the best player on this team, receiver Cam Locke, who is a senior. That's going to allow us to not just have to lean on Darren Gold to run the football well. Remember though, what makes this series so challenging is the schedule that we go up against, as every team on here besides our 2 rivals are starting the season inside the top 14. We literally open up the year at number 1 Michigan, who just won a national championship. We're going to have to deal with the Wolverines in a second, but first I do want to talk about the recruiting class. Not because there's anybody I'm excited about, but because we just have to briefly mention a few of the 4 stars that we're targeting, even if they aren't that exciting. Ian McNone is a 4-star running back, but he only has 86 speed. We got other younger running backs that are going to take over instead of him. But when you're only allowed to recruit from these states, for all we know, he could turn into a receiver for us. The reason that might happen is Russell Sermons is the only receiver that we can even go after at the moment, and he has 81 speed. And that's not the only position on our board either, where we just have to make sacrifices. These cornerbacks, 85 speed, 84 speed, we have to fill some roles, so we don't have a choice in going after them. But I will say this year 5 recruiting class is setting up to be potentially the worst one yet until we get to the transfer portal period. If we can just have a good season on the field, we'll still be able to bring in more talent once we get to that point. But all of that rides on us picking up some really big wins, and Cam Locke is going to need to make a big difference. In recent years, when teams have shut down the run, we haven't been able to throw the ball, so there's just not much that we can do. And we might need to go to the air already. 2nd and 10. We're just hoping to get this one out quick. Cam Locke is going to bring it in, but it's a 3-yard gain. That doesn't do much for us. We also aren't getting off our hot route, so it is what it is. We're probably going to have to look at our tight end. Von Meekins sees an opportunity to run. With his 86 speed, he gets the first. And thank goodness he was able to notice that they were in man-to-man coverage, plus there wasn't a QB spot. So far, though, on the ground, nothing is happening. We're going to throw this one to Cam Locke. It was a little underthrown, but he makes it a 3rd and 2. And don't sleep on Darren Gold. There is a reason that Michigan has been so worried about stopping him early on. He was able to rush for 1,500 yards last season, even if he doesn't have the talent to just dust everybody on the field for massive touchdowns. Truth is, he'll just eventually get caught. What he can do is consistently pick up about 6 to 7 yards. Freshman running back Bradley Soto will also be getting carries in this game and throughout this season, so you'll see him mixed in every so often. 3rd and 2. Von Meekins is going to be able to connect with Wade, and the tight end gets to the 3. So far, so good. We're even going to go with a jet touch pass. Bryce Kroom, not the fastest player in the world, but he still takes it in. And he was actually the first 5-star we convinced to come play for the Minutemen. It was hard to get him on board, and it hasn't really been worth it so far in his career, just with the impact that he's made. But maybe this is the season that the senior breaks out. On 2nd down, Tim Gold makes the tackle. He has been a really good linebacker for us, and I don't think Michigan has anything to throw, but they just had all of this time. Luckily, we were still able to force a drop, and they're punting it back to us. We forced a 3-and-out. Our defense typically doesn't do stuff like this. Maybe it's a good sign. It's still really early in this game, though. Way too early to tell. Are we going to throw this one up to Cam Locke? It was an RPO, but I saw the press, and he makes the catch. Him and Von Meekins seem to be on the same page. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of the offense. And don't sleep on our tight end, Thad Wade, either. We're going to get him on a tight end screen. Our blocks just didn't hold up, so he wasn't able to do much with it. 3rd down. We're going with another screenplay. This time, Gold to the outside is short. And you have to wonder if this is the right decision to run into Michigan's defensive line. They're really talented, but we're going to do it anyway. And we're going to pick things up, but it's a fumble. It is a fumble. One of the biggest issues Darren Gold has had throughout his career is just carrying the football. Mainly because he did not start out as a running back, but we decided to move him over there to fit our needs. That's a first. What we need to do here is just make Michigan work for their points. If they're going to have success, it can't be off of a big play. We already had to have an 11-play, 76-yard drive in this game. And so if they're going to score a touchdown like we did, they need to do the same. I can already see where things are going, by the way. Michigan's just going to keep on running. I mean, it makes sense. We don't have the run defense to stop them. We can't even get over there. Sakai Scipio was the other 5-star that we have been able to sign in our school's history, and the linebacker is just unfortunately slow. It hasn't seemed to help us too much. But Nick Quigley just made a great play off of the edge. I'm pretty sure we picked him up in the transfer portal. I thought we'd knock that out. We really do need to get aggressive here in stopping the run. I think we're going to run commit and just hope that Michigan actually hands this ball off. They've had their tight end in motion multiple times, and he still found the room. Wolverines are definitely putting something together here, but we're also making some plays, especially whenever they run the ball. It's not always a guaranteed 10. There was a moment in this program's history where it was, are they going to force it? They're going to take a sack. And Chad Gervasi is on the end of it. I have never seen this kid's name before. He is what you want out of a player, though. He is a senior. He has waited his time to get onto the field, and he is making an impact. Soto with a chance to return. Our backup running back's not going to do anything with it, but we get out a quick throw to Thad Wade, and he is 15. They continue to press cam lock, and I'm taking note of it. They just got extra help over on that side of the field for this play, so it's a great way to run. And I'm not sure if they're disrespecting our offensive line, if they're disrespecting Darren Gold, but you only had 3 down linemen. We keep wanting to pull out a big play and see if we can get anything from it. That's going to be brought in. Von Meekins might have been a little bit off target, but I think everybody on this team has gotten used to it at this point in his career. In this position, we cannot afford another turnover. That was a great play. Cam lock has been pretty effective for us so far, and taking off, we're at the 1-yard line. Here's the thing, though. Michigan is calling timeouts, so even if we got in, they're going to get another drive before the end of the half. I've just been very happy with our defense so far. This can't be another fumble. This can't be another fumble. They scoop it up, too. Biggers gets the tackle off, but we were so close to going up 14-0, and now they're going to be back in. Sometimes things start to feel a little bit easier for the Minutemen, and then the difficulty, the sliders, the roster that is worse than the teams we're facing all starts to have their impact. Come on, guys, make the tackle. I've felt like we've played a really good first half so far, but we're going to need to force a turnover if we don't want Michigan to score here. On second down, we're going to bring down the senior free safety. But I was expecting our linebackers to help a little bit in covering that area of the field, too. After using their last timeout, Michigan is just running again. So maybe we will be able to stop the Wolverines. I might also give up something, though. We missed one tackle. There it is. Okay, from this point, we have to protect the sticks. If they want to take something underneath, they're going to have something underneath, and that's just the way it's going to be. Unless they force it at us. We got guys over there. I thought he caught that ball. We're just lucky that the rain is affecting Michigan just as much as it's affecting us. Are they going to go for the quarterback scramble or not? What is he doing? EA, there is no way to even describe how dumb that was. Like, there was an update on this game that just broke all quarterback logic. They did not do this for a majority of college football 26. They missed the kick. Who cares if it's 2026 and the game can't be coded correctly on the AI with things? We're getting the ball back up by 7. I'm not opposed to using a timeout and seeing if Darren Gold can do anything to end this half as well. We brought over an extra blocker. We just can't get around him. And so we're going to reach halftime of our first game of the season with it being a really low-scoring one. But if our offense can continue to play like this, we know that we've driven down the field and had multiple chances to get extra points. So if we just have some better ball security, I see the inevitable win. That kickoff return isn't helping the defending national champions much either. We're in there with Humphreys. He just kind of hopped on him from behind and wouldn't get out. If they have a halfback screen here, Scipio will get over there, but he can't make the tackle. And why do all the 5-stars that commit to this team just seem to struggle with being good? That throw on third down also hurts. For whatever reason, they're reviewing whether or not this was a catch. The man was able to snag it with one hand and get 2 feet down. So, of course, yes, it was a catch, and they're going to have another 6. On 2nd and 4, we're going to play underneath, and if they run the football, that's going to work out just fine for us. But if we do it 2 times in a row, I'm not so sure about it. Their quarterback can run. We saw that on their last third down. He was able to get outside the pocket and make a great throw. At least they are still struggling here. I really didn't think our run defense was going to be this solid, but it has been. We're going to have a quarterback contain just in case he decides to run. And Chad Gervasi just picked up his 3rd sack of the game. I can't believe the impact that he's making. This return's also looking all right. But what are we going to be able to do now that we have the football? Are we going to be able to run on this Michigan defense? Because it's looking like we're able to. I just need us to finish off this drive with at least a field goal. Von Meekins with the keeper. He's going to have to slide. Do not fight for it. What we don't want to see happen is our 3rd fumble of the game. That would just keep Michigan in it. Darren Gold, there was a hole. I can't get too upset at him, though. He is over 100 rushing yards in this game. Soto, out in the flat, was going to be stopped originally, but he's got some speed on him. I'm excited for what the future could look like. We're going to have to burn our first time out because Von Meekins has the field general ability. He's able to see what coverage they're in. And I thought we weren't going to be able to audible out of our play. That wasn't going to work against man-to-man coverage, but we eventually did. No timeout used. Stephen Ogden makes the catch, and we're just going to drop back and hit tight end Thad Wade, who is able to make it to the 6. But again, I cannot get too excited. We have not had good ball security inside the red zone. If Michigan goes with man-to-man coverage, though, we might have a shot at getting in here. Cam Lock had multiple guys on him, but Von Meekins doesn't care. He makes it. That was just an amazing pocket that he stepped up in, and he gets a touchdown. Now, I don't even want to get ahead of myself before we win this game and say some of the thoughts that I'm having. I don't even want to jinx it. I'm not going to say what's on my mind. We're just going to have to lock in, continue to do what we've been doing all game. You can probably picture what's running through it, though. They've taken this one to the fourth quarter. And I don't think Mr. Brightside's really hitting whenever you're losing by 14 points to UMass. We're able to get in there, get hands on him. And so the inevitable 5 wide has come from Michigan, where they're going to try and go through the air, and we're still okay. Their quarterback, Paul Sparks, has not done anything to concern me so far. I'm watching over the middle. We have a cover 2 look out there. And I thought we were going to get to that ball. Michigan is sure not done yet. We know that it's going to be hard to finish this out. I cannot stress enough how many times we've been in situations like this. Now that the roster's getting a little bit older, though, maybe this is where all that experience really kicks in, except they've got the speed. He's in. Or maybe he's not. It's going to be a quarterback run. He didn't pitch it. There was definitely an option to pitch that if he wanted to, and I think we're going to disrupt them. The real question becomes, will Michigan run it again? And they did on 3rd down. So this is it. It's 4th and goal. We're pass committing. We have a quarterback spy out there on the field, and they just found the little space. Our coverage has to be better there. Speaking of 11-play, 76-yard drives, which I mentioned at the beginning, they basically just had one. And what's their run defense going to look like on Darren Gold? We're still in control of this one, but they locked us down. Cam Lock was not getting that ball there, and he should have here. But our line just let him in. This is why I didn't want to jinx anything or say anything about what I was feeling, because I knew that Michigan would find a way. They're going to scoop up this and return it all the way to the 41. But we just have to have faith in our defense. They've already gotten us on the play action. That could have been dangerous. I think the Wolverines have figured out that even hitting guys underneath, we don't have the speed to keep up. A simple drag might be the end of the world, but if they run, we're handling it. And we just have to continue to bring our safeties down because we can expect them to run it again. This is where we have to trust our coverage. Tim Gold is going to be guarding 3 different hitch routes, and we get up there. Saunders gets the interception. We convinced him to stay. He wanted to enter the transfer portal, but this is why you do not leave UMass, because we're about to beat the defending national champion. There is nothing they can do. They had 1 timeout left. What an ending. I have hope. I have hope in Season 5 that we can actually get to the playoff. There are still 11 hard games on our schedule, but everyone seems to be playing exactly the way that they need to. I hope Von Meekins doesn't start throwing interceptions again. I will say Darren Gold's 97 rushing yards was very impactful as well, but I can't forget the fumble, and he also went into halftime with 85 rushing yards. So it makes me wonder how we still found success in that second half. Michigan's going to fall down to number 11 in the country, and we're not going to be respected. If we were receiving votes, I'd be happy, and we are with 7. So we're technically ranked 33rd in the country. Number 6 Baylor is about to come to town. They're an 89 overall. And you might be thinking, after we handled Michigan, this shouldn't concern us at all, but they have a running back with 94 speed. 2 of their best players are receivers. Titus Torrance really scares me, and their best player is a 96 overall QB. Titus Radigan might have only been a 3-star out of high school, but he has developed into a beast. This is kind of what we want Von Meekins to become at the end of next season. At least that's his ceiling, and we're going to have to stop that version of him right now. We also need to put on for our fans that have come out to this game so we can keep on building up a good relationship with them, some more confidence in the team. Not because it's hard to fill the stadium, you see the size of it, but just because we want to always have them on our side. There were games where this place was almost empty at the beginning. We all know the reason that Baylor is ranked as high as they are as well. It is mainly because of their quarterback. So my hope is their defense is not all that, and we're able to run a lot with Darren Gold. A few yards a carry is fine with me as long as we're picking up first downs eventually anyway. But just a couple plays in, Bradley Soto already taken a rep, and he is also getting a first. We were just giving Darren Gold a quick breather, though, which is what I thought was happening. You never know, though. We haven't really been struck with too many injuries so far in this dynasty, and I don't want this year to be the first. After all of these successful runs, I am sure that Baylor is about to start sending some guys down, which is why we have thrown it to Cam Lock. They just don't have an answer for what we're doing so far, and once again, he is there. That was a touchdown, but Von Meekins has picked up that they're running the same coverage. It's the benefit of the field general ability, so we're going to go back to Cam Lock again. He brings it in. And I think we're going to have him on this one for 6. We just needed our blocks to hold. He is in, and the receiver is starting to make some plays. I really like how that opening drive went. We showed that we could run the ball effectively, that we could also throw it effectively. Baylor gets 7. That could have easily been far worse than that. And just like we were trying to use some RPOs on our drive, they're going to hit us with the same type of stuff. We're going to do our best to jump on some of these routes, though. Running back going all over the field. And there's just plenty of time to find a connection there. Come on, someone get on it. I kind of expected that this game would be a shootout for us, And if we're going to beat Baylor, we're going to have to score a whole lot more. Because in 5 plays, they've been more intimidating than Michigan was throughout an entire game. He can't get into the end zone out of that. It's a good drive, though. Nothing more we can say. And we sent a blitz here that we hit him soon enough on. Okay, this is it right here. Baylor probably going to go for a quarterback sneak, and they did. We have everybody down here. We're trying to stop the run, but we couldn't get a body on him. And that's some frustrating stuff. We were just one more stop away. Let's see if they put safety help over on Cam Lock, though. They're going to, which means Von Meekins has to find another read. And we've made it to the end of the first quarter. So far, no defensive stops. Both teams have had long, controlled drives. I figured we would block to the outside, but I am almost positive when we watch film back, that is not going to be a good look for Darren Gold and his running back vision. We needed to move the chains there. Now Baylor's going to get an opportunity to march down the field once again. I've already had enough of Titus Torrance too. After the catch, he's a menace. So I just decided he wasn't getting the football. We were going to send a blitz there. On 3rd down, looks like a run is going to get them more than enough. These Tituses on this team are so hard to contain. And we just got beat. We just got beat by Titus Torrance D. I genuinely do not know how we did what we did defensively against Michigan last week. It's not the same team. That's what it feels like right now. We're just going to have to let Darren Gold take this one for 15. And they're running some cover 2, which is why I've even thrown this one in the first place. Von Meekins does stuff like that every so often that doesn't make much sense. But one of these days, the big play is going to work out, and Bryce Kroom has the first. With star tight end Thad Wade getting injured, though, I'm a little bit concerned. Who knows when he'll be back out there for us. We're going over the middle, and it's a nice throw from Von Meekins. He isn't able to do it again. So he has put us on a 3rd and 8, but Cam Lock was on a slant, so we went for him. All that extra effort to reach out didn't do too much, but we're still going to be able to pick this up on the ground. And I'm going to be looking to target him inside the red zone, except we just forced it into double coverage. How long did you think the amazing decision-making was going to last out of Von Meekins? Did you really think it was going to be the whole year? He is due to throw that first interception. We can keep things on the ground, though, for a touchdown. But now we need a defense that is going to show up and make a play. It's Titus again. Luckily for us, it is coming back due to a penalty. But I have already seen enough of this guy. 1st and 20. We keep on deciding to get over there at the last second. And it's just not working for us. That Titus to Titus connection continues to shred. He is another catch. We've already given up 170 passing yards. You could just tell that they were going to get somebody open too. You can't take away both of those routes at the same time. In breaking route, though, Humphries is all over. It's a mistake from the star quarterback. And Humphries, keep going. He is in. What a miracle from Darian Humphries. We've kept him on the field even though he isn't technically our best safety. And that is exactly why. He has earned his playing time. He has earned his spot. He is going to have to sit out for a play just to get some rest. But things are much better the second he's back out there. Halfback screen on 2nd down isn't doing any damage. And I hope that we can get some decent pass rush in, or else Baylor's probably going to pull out a miracle. Marco Saunders got hands on Titus, though. Again, I am glad that we were able to convince him to return instead of transferring. We want field goals before the end of this first half. I almost thought Soto was on a return. When Bradley Soto eventually takes over this backfield, he'll have enough time to have developed even better. He is going to be a beast eventually. We're just waiting on that moment. And there is still 19 seconds left in the first half. We'll get another 5. It's probably a little too aggressive to be thinking about a touchdown here, but I don't want to write it off yet. We're going to get plenty of time to drop back, and I think we're just going to run with Von Meekins, who is down. Well, it only makes sense to kick. And with Baylor, of course, taking a knee to get us to halftime, we have a 10-point lead in a game that we started off a little bit slow on offense. That pick 6 truly changed everything because Baylor was outscoring us up until that moment. And we might not be in the biggest stadium, but those shadows are definitely covering the field still. On 3rd and 7, they're just going with a halfback draw. We sniffed it out from the start. And so we are in an incredible position. Once again, Bradley Soto with a decent return. But are we going to be able to march down the field and go up by 3 possessions? That is the only question I'm worried about. Cam Lock was asking to get the ball a little bit more on this drive, but we're still running. Even if it upsets him, it is worth it. We're going to have the quick out route too. Just got to make that catch. That's where Darren Gold's previous experience as a running back can come up extremely clutch for us. And you know what? If we're going to take a sack there, it could have been for a lot more. I'm seeing nothing inspiring out of this offense, though. We're going to pump fake into a sack. And let this be a lesson that the second we go away from the run, consistently just pounding it down their throat, we get stopped pretty easily. For Baylor, it's been the complete opposite story. They've not run as effectively. It's kind of ironic I said that during that play, but I'm much more worried about Titus throwing the football. Here on 2nd and 10, they have another RPO that gets them nothing. And this is where our 3rd down defense needs to come up clutch They throw short. We make that hit. Listen, you all think you're slick about your comments about me missing the diving tackles, about throwing interceptions. Well, what is there to say now? Because we're making good tackles. We're also winning games. Soto, I thought he had that. But here's the real test for Von Meekins. Is he going to throw this one to Bryce Kroom or Cam Locke? It's going to be Bryce Kroom, and I'm glad he didn't turn around. We're just making him think a little bit. Handoff goes nowhere. So we might have to pull this on third down, which is exactly what we have done. And Von Meekins is going to the 25. Big play for us to convert in that situation. Darren Gold for 7. And Baylor is going to come out and cover 1. But they double team Cam Locke at the exact same time, and we can't get it out. We're either going to look at Thad Wade or Stephen Ogden here. Thad Wade is wide open. You might as well just go over to the tight end if he's going to put on the burners like that. And headed into this fourth quarter, we're starting to get a little bit comfortable. Only 2 guys out here to make tackles, though. One thing that we've not been as effective with still is sending a blitz, but they had a quick read to the flat where we weren't guarding. So that's the danger of trying to bring pressure on an experienced older quarterback that is incredibly intelligent. He read us like a book pre-snap, though he's just going to have to scramble here or throw it away. And we don't send many man-to-man blitz coverages, so I was willing to risk that there. Watching this drag underneath, he takes the sack. Marco Saunders is making me a very happy man, but we can't let Titus Torrance get the ball. He is their last hope of staying in this football game, and they just send this up. We could get the pick. We could get the pick. A little bit unfortunate there. They run it on 4th and 3. And it worked. I can't say too much about it if it's having some success. One thing Baylor has not been on this drive, though, is very efficient, as there's only 3.5 minutes remaining. They are still trailing by 17 points. They need to be able to do more than what they have, as it has taken them more than half the quarter to even get down the field. We might give up a touchdown here. Yeah, he placed it well. Can't even be upset at it. We should have covered a little bit better. Darian Humphrey scoops it up. It's not like we're only trusting him to make plays on defense, and they fell for it. They fell for it. Thad Wade makes one defender miss. Almost made another. So this game is basically over. For Baylor to win this one still, it's going to take a lot. And it all starts with them getting us off the field on 3rd and 3. Darren Gold is just so quick. But now we have to ask ourselves, are we a team that runs up the score, or are we going to be respectful about it? Ultimately, we're not going to risk injuries. We're not going to risk a fumble. We'll take a knee. And that win gets us one step closer to potentially making the playoff. Even with this success so far, though, I do have plenty of concerns that I need to be worried about with the Minutemen. You can see that Enrique Cotran, he was a former 4-star receiver. He's not happy with his playing time. Another one of our receivers wants to leave. And so in the future, this receiving core could end up extremely depleted, especially since there aren't any other guys for us to recruit out of high school. Let's just say that we did end up landing 4-star Russell Sermons as well. He's got 81 speed. I do not want to start him next year. So that's what's currently on my mind. We're about to head to the Swamp to play the Gators, who have lost the only game that they've played in, but they have an edge with 97 speed. This guy is going to be a monster. I am terrified of him. I'm also terrified of a quarterback combo with 2 really good receivers, because that's what we just faced, and these guys are quick. Our defensive backs do not have the speed to keep up with them, so I hope that they don't realize that, or else this is guaranteed to turn into a very long day for us in Gainesville. I am surprised that after beating the #1 and #6 team in the country, we're not ranked, but if we win this one, I would basically guarantee that we would get ranked. And we brought out the curse of UMass on the helmets for this one. It looks sick. Stadium Pulse is never something that you want to be dealing with, though. And we just had that Wade for potentially a touchdown. You know how fast he is, but he couldn't make the catch. There's also no way that they didn't give us that first down there. We're going for it. We're going for it. Up the middle is wide open for Sun. He's at the 47. And so maybe our streak of opening the game with a touchdown will continue to live on through this one. Darren Gold just threading through those guys. And I think the Gators might bring in a little bit of pressure here. It said that they were going to pre-play, but they had our guys covered well. Von Meekins is going to need to pull the read option. Von Meekins is going to get some decent blocks, but not long enough to finish that play off with a touchdown. We just threw a pick. We just threw his first pick of the year. Why? He got way too confident. He was feeding that one to Cam Locke. But the one good thing about it is Florida got this ball in an awful spot. And what they did with that is they're busting off a 95-yard touchdown run. So this is the worst start that we could have had in the Swamp. But I really thought our run defense was going to be a little bit better. I don't even care they missed the extra point. We saw before the game with the scouting report that Larry Bobo was going to be a problem, and we still gave that up. Meanwhile, Darren Gold doesn't have the burners to do anything like that at all. This team is loaded with talent on that side of things. I'll take a first. These refs refuse to hand them out easily, though. They keep on putting us on these inches plays that we're still going to convert on. Eventually, they will sniff out the halfback screen. It's going to be here. And so on 2nd and 15, we're going to step up and it's a bad throw. I always hate when coaches do this on 3rd and long, but it can work out. There's a reason that they do it. They get paid a lot more than I do. It sets us up on a 4th and 8, and I think just for momentum purposes, we should go for it here. I saw a mismatch that I liked. It's another bad ball. Whatever Von Meekins did the night before this game, it was clearly not prepared because he looks horrendous. So far, this performance really makes me wonder what we're capable of this year. Looks like Florida's easily going to score again. But we just have to remind ourselves, it's still early on. For all we know, they won't even score a touchdown on this drive. But we sure didn't make it too challenging by not picking up that 4th down. There's just no way that we had that soft of coverage there as well. What a tackle. It might have saved the touchdown. Another RPO. We got 3 guys on it. Okay, on 3rd and goal, they hand it off. Tim Gold brings him down. And I feel like they're going to run this ball. So we came out to stop the run. This isn't the first time in this game a team is starting a drive on the 5-yard line either. Can we get a 95-yard run? It feels like that's what we need. Cam Lock is going to make it 3rd and 2. But I am not trusting Von Meekins with anything more than a simple throw until he redeems himself. We might have overreacted. We're not even out of this game yet. In fact, we're getting a huge run. But I was really concerned with the way that we started this game. Von Meekins getting a little bit more comfortable. He's just going to find Cam Lock, and Cam Lock turns upfield. He is Dustin 14. Why would you stick a sorry corner like number 14 on Cam Lock? He breaks 2 tackles. He's hitting the gritty on y'all in your stadium. And we really needed that to just believe. Our 4th receiver, Enrique Cotran, with a great tackle on that kickoff as well. That's the type of playing time he's getting, so that's why he's upset. But he has to earn his reps. I know we put him on the field last year. We have guys that are better this time. And here we go, 3rd and 7. Quick throw. They got the first. That was a good play. There's not much else to it. Tim Gold, not lurking. We also missed the hit stick to knock that ball loose. In fact, he is still on his feet. But it is what it is. We just got to move on to the next play after that. And Tim Gold's going to make up for it. What type of throw was that? I mean, I'm glad that Tim Gold's able to get another interception in his career. But these quarterbacks have been stinking it up so far, and he got hit. But I still don't know what he was looking at. You know what? The most important thing is it worked out, and they just can't be doing it again. They cannot be putting that sorry corner on Cam Lock. We're going to make this throw and let Stephen Ogden try to catch it. Safety help over top definitely prevented Cam Lock from making a play. And do we think they're in man-to-man coverage on Bryce Kroom? That is the real question. I feel like they are. With the audible, Stephen Ogden, we're trusting him to get open here. And there's still 50 seconds left in this first half. They gave us the look. They gave us the look. Cam Lock can't bring that in. It's okay. We probably should just run it here. See if Darren Gold can get anything going. And I typically like this play a lot, mainly because we have a read underneath. Or we could just scramble with Von Meekins. Enrique Cotran has an opportunity to make a play here. It's not going to be open, but we were patient enough. And we're just going to continue to get let down. They could have intercepted that too. I think at some point you just have to accept a halfback screen is our only chance at maybe getting to the end zone. But even then, it's not going to happen. I don't know if I've seen a meter shake this much for being as close as we are. I honestly thought we were going to miss it to the right. Being up by 4, though, after thinking the game was over in the first quarter, we were just upset for no reason. And I'm not sure how scared I really am of this Gators offense yet. If they come out spinning like that, though, and breaking tackles, there's the speed showcase. That is where we need to be worried, and you're going to keep on getting it to 84. Senior Joey Bibbs is clearly the guy. I thought he was going to be on a jet touch pass, and we were just going to let him go. We are very fortunate that that's how things worked out. Send the spy and force a throwaway. If I'm Florida, I'm going for it in this situation. You know that you're going to win the battle up front, but they punted it instead. And Soto just exploding through. So close to getting his first kick return ever. I know that it's going to come at some point this season. What was our measure for last year if we were going to win a game? I think it was Darren Gold getting over 100 rushing yards. He is currently sitting at 73. Though by the end of this drive, he might hit it. And that's going to be another 7. On 2nd and 4, we just hand this one off to Bradley Soto. And Florida is not coming out like they want to stop the run at all. 56 should have been picking up that block, though. That play could have gone for so much more than it did. And this is where they could hold us. 3rd and 9, Cam Lock. We were targeting him, but they got hands on us first. This meter moving again. Very hard to tell whether or not we were going to make it, but we did. We got a good kicker. I think Ben Nava's a senior now, which means we recruited him all the way back in season 1 at UMass. Oh my gosh, how can you stop someone that is that explosive? He tiptoed down the sideline. Hang on. We might be getting bailed out. EA, do your thing. Do your thing. This is beautiful. Ignore Culliver just getting shafted here. In the instant replay, you're going to be able to see that his foot must have touched right there because they decided that this wasn't a touchdown. Looking at it, though, we got bailed. I mean, I've been looking at all of these angles, and he definitely didn't hit the white. I won't be complaining about that, though. Florida's got to figure out how to march down the field. Now, we did have an offside before the next snap. I thought I was clicked onto a defensive back, so we could potentially lurk here, which we do with Sharp. That is adjusting to the game plan that your opponent is going with. We know that they've been running those to the flat. We know that they've been turning them into big plays, but we get the turnover, and now we keep it. We keep it with our quarterback going down. There are a few times where you got momentum like this at the Swamp, but when you do, you just got to keep on riding the hot hands on the team. And I guess Stephen Ogden's going to get added to that list because he just got naked there. Darren Gold up the middle for 6. We're just going to continue to watch for any of those bubbles. A handoff won't do any good, and they better not think that they can get away with it. Short, underneath, reads, bad passes. Florida's offense really struggling against our defense. And it's another bad throw. I don't think we've experienced a quarterback perform this poorly in a long time against us. We probably should have fair caught it. Just an awful punt in the first place. The quarterback play, though, making Von Meekins look elite. Do we trust him to throw that? I really didn't. He might have fumbled, too. We keep trying to hit Cam Lock for a big play. That one almost deflected into an interception. That is a bad combo of back-to-back plays, though Von Meekins feels the pressure. The best thing that we could do in this situation is just pin them out of bounds inside the 15 and then hope that they have another really bad drive. I don't think they're going to be able to get away with bubbles for much longer. And that was literally their offense. They've looked lost without it. On third down, of course it worked. We should have just stuck closer on Joey Bibbs. He falls over. And so Mafu was able to hit him just enough off-balanced. Can we force that ball to fall out? Perfect stuff. 3rd and 12. We're dropping guys back. We're pass committing, and that's going to lead to a sack. Florida now has to go for it on 4th and 18, and we're just hoping that we can stop this kid after the catch. We can. Joey Bibbs is now over 100 receiving yards in this game. It really has been an insane performance for him, but Florida might not see the ball again. All of this comes back to the refs calling that touchdown back, even after reviewing. I cannot understand why they did. It changed everything. We're very lucky they did that. On 2nd and 4, it's just another run to Darren Gold. Eventually, the Gators will run out of timeouts, or he might just get into the end zone. I've had to look past the bad interception that Von Meekins had at the start of this game. It ended up not being a big deal at all. Unless they score again, we're going to win this one 27-6. And we'll see if we can just get them off the field on 4th down. Okay, we didn't. We didn't. That's probably going to be a rough one to look back on too, but we bring our safeties out of position all the time. And so every so often a team counters it well and they have a free touchdown. It is what it is though. I still think we did enough to prove we should be ranked. But for whatever reason, schools like Tulane who are beating up on FCS schools are getting ranked instead. It is ridiculous. We are still 5th in receiving votes. It's just disrespectful. 2 of the teams that we faced are still ranked inside the top 25. We got Boston College coming up, so we should be 4-0. That is a rival. That's why they're not a ranked team on our schedule. It's the same reason we play UConn every year, and we've eventually surpassed what their team is. Just looking at their roster, though, I am not feeling as confident. Adonis Jeffrey, 92 overall. They got Dante Holiday, who has been a problem since he was a freshman. Larry Owasika, he is now a senior, is an 88 overall too. And just a quick recruiting note, I am starting to schedule some visits for next week against Indiana because that is our best chance to get somebody in before week 9 against Pitt. It's just a challenge with only 500 hours to use in recruiting at this point in the year. I'm feeling a lot of momentum with this team building up, but Boston College has not lost a game yet this season, and we know how rivalries go. This is to find out who the best team in the state of Massachusetts is. And it's a pretty lopsided rivalry as well, though. We've won the last 2 years. We're looking to win 3 straight. We just got to play things smart. We're going to easily stop the run. Making this 3rd down, tight end isn't open, the hitch is not open either. Eventually our pressure has to come from one of these 2 sides, and it did, so now we can set up to hopefully have a really good return here. Bradley Soto, if he just didn't get caught on that blocker, I think he could have taken that one to the crib. The left side was open. And imagine how much more damage we would be doing if we had a receiver with 97 speed instead of the 90 that Cam Lock has. I think it's a good thing that we don't though. That's why I just turned on auto progression, because we would have been able to get it with manual. And then I wouldn't be working too hard for any points. Looks like Von Meekins is just going to scramble to complete a 1-yard throw. Not sure what was going through his mind there. It's going to be cover 1 on 3rd down, and Cam Lock is going to get that. I mean, he is going to get every single target if they try and run man-to-man coverage. His accuracy continues to drive me absolutely insane. Home field advantage is preventing us from audibling as well. We were hoping to hit Thad Wade. But I'm not sure the Eagles have even proven that they can stop the run. So why we continue to throw the ball, it's just some really bad habits. Here we go, 3rd and goal. They bring a blitz. We got Cam Lock, and I feel like it's obvious where we're going. That corner is not guarding him one-on-one. By the way, 2 extra points have already been missed in this video. Last week it was Florida. This week it was us. Not like our kicker missed anything. I just simmed the kick. I wasn't too concerned about us hitting it against Boston College. I kind of assumed our senior kicker would have success. But we clearly can't do that. On 3rd and 10, no one is getting pressure. There was way too much time back there. He almost got to the marker too. But the entire time, that kid was holding, so it makes some sense. We declined the penalty. It would have been funny if Boston College decided to go for it after we declined it, but they didn't. They've just punted it back to us. Soto getting to the outside. You could argue this is one of those games where he deserves to play a little bit more, and you wouldn't necessarily be wrong just because it'll get him some good experience. Come on, come on. If we somehow turn that into a touchdown, I would have literally erupted. It's just a great throw. And our offense is in full force. We are not worried about anything. We continue to complete passes. Boston College is struggling a lot right now, and they continue. As we reach the end of this first quarter, Darren Gold is at the 1, and we're just going to quickly throw this to the flat. That could have been a pick 6. The only reason I even did that is because I wanted Cam Lock to get a receiving touchdown. We should have just gone with a jet touch pass like this. And we are very lucky that they didn't take that to the crib. Instead of heading into the second quarter with a lead up 13-0, we would have been down 7-6. All is good though. Boston College's quarterback not doing a thing. And until they start looking effective on offense, I won't be concerned at all. Larry Awasikwa has now missed so many throws. He's taken sacks, and he's probably not the only person to blame for how Boston College has come out, but they sure do not look good, and we're just stepping on it with Darren. He's got 6 carries for almost 70 yards. It's been a solid game. That's not a catch. We're trying to give Cam Lock those targets. Just a quick throw. We can see pre-play the matchups that we're going to expose, and we'll continue to do it. Bryce Kroom on the outside is one of the receivers that I'm staring down. I'm so glad that was a pump fake because we hit the wrong button. Von Meekins actually just saved the day. We caught that? Someone's going to say I'm glazing Cam Lock too much, but then he can make a play like that. What else are we supposed to say about him? Von Meekins gets us the 3rd and 13. And this is the first game on offense where I feel like I don't need to be locked in at all. We're still going to find a way to score. This is fun. Pre-play, we just decided Cam Lock was going to get this pass. But hot routes are not working on 3rd down. Von Meekins is running for his life. And you just gotta get out. How is that a fumble? How is that a fumble? This is just another bug making the game feel unfinished. He throws it like that. Is that realistic? It's literally going to cost us 3 points. I'm glad that I am not too concerned about Boston College, and this is against them. If that happens later in the season against a better team, it would be a completely different story. And when are we going to learn to always play that underneath? Boston College is another team that likes to run it. On 3rd down, I am assuming that they have somebody ready to catch this. But on the flip side, everybody on Boston College just looks unprepared. They do not look good. After how that last drive ended, I'm a little salty for Von Meekins, who's been having a great game. So I was willing to let him throw that ball, and he can also keep it. He might be able to go all the way, but he doesn't, and Boston College calls a timeout. That's so annoying of them because they're going to get the ball back in this first half. It's dropped by both players. I thought we were going to get super lucky. We'll go with the halfback screen. I want to get Von Meekins a passing touchdown. He won't get it. But maybe Stephen Ogden gets open on his slant, or we just scramble. At least we made the Eagles use all their timeouts, so once we punch it in on 4th and goal, they don't stand much of a chance of scoring. I just don't see them putting together a big drive to end this first half, though giving up a 15-yard throw is not ideal. Now they have a little bit of faith in themselves again, which they haven't had at any point in this game so far. I think they were holding. And they were. They're just going to get moved back farther. At some point, you've got to feel for them, except I don't since they're a rival. We give that up. The last thing we need to do is allow them to get onto the board before the end of this quarter. We were having a shutout, and this is going to change it. They're definitely going to get something. Only way they don't is if we get a quick sack on this 3rd down, or they throw an interception here. I got burnt with Timot Hasty, and he just takes off. There's the 1st down. Now that they're in field goal range, I thought they'd handle this a little bit better, but there's only 9 seconds left on the clock. What are they doing? We got to keep this inbounds, but we can't. 52-yarder is going to look easy for their kicker. If we just start this first half with a touchdown, though, this game is still over. Cam Lock was getting pressed on the first play, and it's a pick. It's a pick that we didn't even need to throw. You try to get disrespectful. You try to rub it in their face, we're whiffing on tackles now, too. And why can't we just get some crazy highlight? This is the one team outside of UConn where we can kind of just go with the flow and things should still work out decently well for us. I mean, they are literally holding every single time. That was a great play. Mainly more on the catch and throw, though. We just don't have the guys to guard them. And the last time we got Boston College in this position, we gave all of it up one play later. They should be backed up a little bit too far to convert again, though. Third down, watching over the middle, and we got beat. We got beat. What are we doing? It's actually a game. It was one that we could have run away with. But now the stadium's starting to come back alive. Fans are realizing that there's a little bit of hope, and Darren Gold is going to look to ruin that hope as he just takes off to the 45. He should also be able to get this carry. Until I realized that was Bradley Soto in the game. He's going to get another 8 back-to-back big runs. And I like what I'm seeing out of the freshman. He might still be waiting multiple seasons, though, before he gets his opportunity to be our starter. Glad to see Von Meeken's confidence has not gone anywhere, though. Underneath, he finds Bryce Kroom. Bryce Kroom is going to reach for it, and it's a fumble out of the back of the end zone. You cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. We're going to lose this game. We're going to find a way to lose this game. Yep, they just have a huge game. They just have a huge game. I have never seen anything like this before. I have never seen anything like this before. We have definitely choked before, but it has been against teams that are much better than us. We cannot let it happen here. I'm all over it. Underneath, we should be able to make this tackle and hold them. Okay, if we just calm down for a second. They weren't able to score, though. We almost hit their punter. And it might be time to hand it off every single play, no matter what. Bad things start to happen whenever we drop back to throw the football. And they happen way too often. Only getting 4. Final play of this quarter. We are about to take a sack with Von Meekins. I don't even know what some of those routes were out there either. I got aggressive. I got all excited. They were pressing Cam Lock. I thought he was about to have a huge play. That could have been picked. And I don't want to talk about it. I actually don't want to talk about it. We're just going to lock in and get our stop. We have hit that point where, there it is. They had a post. They had the deep post. We're so lucky. This is a game of blind quarterback versus blind quarterback, but theirs is more blind. We force a fumble. Let's go. What a bailout from Tim Gold. We do not deserve to be in this spot. But now we can just finish off this drive, go back up 3 possessions, and actually stick to my word of only running the football. I don't care if they're pressing Cam Lock. We're running every single down. This should be a touchdown for Darren Gold. Our blocks needed to hang on for half a second longer. It's not going to matter. He dives his way in. And we have a 3-possession lead over the Eagles. What more could we ask for? Well, I would ask that we don't give up a 1-play touchdown. That would be a start. They just took our cover 6 and said, never run that again. I mean, we had an opportunity there to just wrap up, but he also could have taken that in for a touchdown. Throw a pick. Throw a pick. We were so close to Tim Gold adding on to his stat line. It's okay, though. We're covering the onside kick. We pick up 1 first down, and I think we'll be good from there. Maybe we need 2. We'll see. Definitely need 2 with Darren Gold taking an injury timeout. Quick bubble throw. Are you serious? Somehow that ball was inaccurate. They're just doing things to keep it competitive. I am convinced that EA does not want to see us win. We also lost Darren Gold to injury for that 3rd down, but it's only for a couple quarters, so he will be back next week against Indiana. Wide receiver screen, Sharp. Can't make the tackle. No one wants to. I know I've glazed Holiday in the past, but he's a small guy. We should still be able to take him down. We're lucky. If it weren't for as many inaccurate balls as he has had, we would not be in this position at all. There have been like 6 missed throws. Here on 1st and 10, after they just picked that one up, he's going to run straight out of bounds, or he makes the throw on the run. They're still in 2. Boston College out at the 30. They're just doing everything right. They're literally doing everything right outside of their use of timeouts. If they use 1 more, we will feel a lot more comfortable. Why are they running the ball? Here we go. 3rd and 2 underneath. They're going to get out of bounds. And the comeback hopes continue for the Eagles. They take the drag. We can wrap up or not. That would almost make too much sense. Oh, we just got dusted. We got dusted. Leaving one of our corners on an island with Dante Holiday. Not the smartest of ideas, but what a snag from Darian Humphreys. And even if we don't pick up the 1st down, Boston College would be getting this ball back with literally like 30 seconds. Bradley Soto's going to have to finish this one off. And he's got the lane. He's got the lane to do it. So let's just forget that this even became a close game. I am embarrassed by the second half performance and really the lack of attention to detail that we needed. Kurt Cignetti would not be having any of that. And that is who we're about to have to deal with. 2-2 Oklahoma is ranked. 1-2 Florida, who we beat, is ranked, but we are still outside the top 25. It's starting to get ridiculous. If we're going to be a playoff team, I'm guessing that we can only have 1 or 2 losses. Our strength of schedule has not benefited us, and it's always the receivers that are good. Indiana has 3 of them that we're going to be facing, but do they have a quarterback that can get him the football? Paul Bredesen is a junior. He's an 84 overall, but especially when you factor in our home crowd, I think we're going to be okay. It's always a day game, though. We can't even get a night game for the Minutemen, which would have been sick for these jerseys. And with the Hoosiers starting with the football, we just got to come out and set the tone with a defensive stop. Their first play is going to be a run. They waited a while to make that decision, but he's bouncing around. I'm not sure if Javier Treggs is a player that we need to fear or not yet. That kid's big. They're going to be running a split backfield. On this play, we literally gave up a touchdown. That could have been so much worse. Tim Gold was ready to get out if they happened to throw the bubble. What a spin as well. He's still on his feet. And the last few quarters of football for this team so far have been rough. Indiana continuing to find success. I would at least like if we could get them on a 3rd down. That was just way too easy. We're going for 3. And on 2nd down, we pulled them in. We have a chance at a huge play. We just need to hit this throw. Thad Wade is going to make that catch. So there it is. Von Meekins coming out on fire. He's got Cam Lock wide open. He beat the press. He did something right. And it is time to figure out what we're going to do about this Hoosiers offense. It's now 2nd and 11. The run going nowhere. So what do they do when they need a really big 3rd down? I guess they're just sending up a 50-50 ball. DeVoe, this is your chance to make a play. I wasn't sure if he was actually going to knock that ball out or not, but he did, and we're going to just pull out the play action real quick. Von Meekins trying to escape. We were going to see if we had anything downfield, but that ultimately would have just been a bigger risk, and we just got to fight for that first. All right, new set of downs. Halfback dive straight up the middle for Darren Gold, getting more, and I believe Cam Lock is going to beat that press there to the inside. Or we could just go with Bryce Kroom underneath. Looks like they might be in man-to-man coverage here. It turned into zone. Von Meekins steps up and he fumbles. We're lucky some of our offensive linemen are just diving all over the field to make sure that it gets recovered. It's going to be 3rd and 5. And they are playing inside, which means Cam Lock is getting pressed horribly. They're giving him a touchdown. Whether he got separation or not, I was throwing that ball. And Indiana is going to pull out the same play that they ran to start the last drive. Recently, we have run into a lot of teams that are just obsessed with these bubbles, but I don't think they're that challenging for us to stop. And as we head into the start of the 2nd quarter, there is a very big 3rd down coming up. We have everybody ready to drop back and just protect us deep. They can't even bring it in. So once again, our defense is doing the job that they need to. And we're starting the drive at the 47. Confidence is honestly through the roof, though they should have had that. Maybe confidence should not be as through the roof as it is, especially since I think they're about to force a 3-and-out. Von Meekins, no quarterback spy. What is he going to do? He's going to fumble, and they're going to recover this one. They deserve to get the last one. I have made the decision this is my last game of the night. If I play any more games, we are 100% losing. We're not locked in. Not doing well. I'll tell you what, though. I've never been much of a sauna guy. I've gone to the gym, but I would never get in the sauna after. I've been hitting the sauna recently. I feel great. It's so peaceful in there, unless someone just walks in and they start taking a phone call in the sauna. I could not believe we did that, but eventually he walked out. Anyway, I really enjoy it. Go in there without the phone, just sit there for 20 minutes. And I've also been eating way too many egg scrambles recently from Wild Eggs. Thad Wade with an incredible play. So much so that you're not going to like this. You're not going to like this. We were running 4 verticals. I will slide this time, but I really did just want to throw it up until I saw there was double coverage on Cam Lock. This is why you keep it on the ground. I think we might be able to get them with this RPO, though. This has already worked for a touchdown once this season. And if it's not there, it's easy. Just let Darren Gold do what he needs to do on the ground. 2nd and 14, they are locking down on that wide receiver screen. In fact, we probably shouldn't have even thrown it. Waiting for the cut, forcing it in there, and then probably running this on 4th and 2 instead of kicking a field goal. Should we do that? I think we should. I think we should. Darren Gold getting out, and Darren Gold in the end zone. He doesn't have the top end speed, but his quick hits of acceleration are some of the best. The only downside is we did score a little bit too soon, and I was afraid they were about to throw that deep. For whatever reason, we were pressed on that right side, and it looked like we were about to give up a touchdown. How did he get that over us? 2nd and 10 now. Indiana with the quick hit, and that's going to get them a good bit. But I still think we're going to be all right. We knew where it was going. I'm just waiting for our defensive line to get some pressure, and we did on that play. Third down, the seam almost was given up for a second, but we did a good job in making up for that. We also wrap up. So we're getting this ball back with 38 seconds left, and I have to decide whether it's worth it to try and get in field goal range. I mean, if you're only punting it for 15 yards out of bounds, then we are clearly going to have to just put in some effort. Darren Gold isn't making it to the sideline. And I'm assuming the Hoosiers are about to back off a lot with their coverage. That's why on 3rd and 5, I can look over in Bryce Kroom's direction. And I swear, this game reviews some of the dumbest stuff. That was the most obvious catch of the season. Von Meekins is patient enough to dump it out. But for whatever reason, Darren Gold immediately fell down. We are going to force this into a pick. Oh, it's caught. It's caught. I guess we still have a chance to get out of bounds and get in field goal range. We just got to make a real quick throw. Snap this ball, throw it, and run. Run, run. I can't believe that we just pulled that off, but Bryce Kroom got out of bounds with 1 second left. So we just got to lock in and hit this long kick. It's going to be the perfect kick to end the half. We are in a great position against Indiana despite fumbling away one of our possessions. And it's actually really important that we close out this whole game up by a lot of points. I have recently learned if you have a bunch of guys on a visit and it's a blowout, then you get a lot more bonuses. So if we're going to land some commitments, that's exactly what we need. It's going to be Stephen Ogden with the play. I mean, things could not be going better. Until we fumble. Until we fumble, we're challenging it. It's just such an awful jinx. Go ahead, throw that flag out there. We're probably going to lose a timeout, but I highly doubt that's going to matter. He was down. We'll see it from a second angle as well. Maybe it was the right decision to challenge it. I just do it anytime I get frustrated. And what's crazy is if we didn't throw that flag, Indiana would have just had the ball. On 3rd and 5, there is only one player that we are looking at. And Indiana has started to show a little bit of resistance. The touchdown is not coming easy here. We're just going to run with Von Meekins and get hit. Again, you would think we'd learn our lesson, but so should they. They have not put a quarterback spy out there once. Bradley Soto setting up to get his first career rushing touchdown, and he could not make it in, but we're going to give him one more opportunity to do it. I am so confident that this kid is the future. And on 3rd down, near the end of the 3rd quarter, Tim Gold gives it up. I really think we're going to be all right, though. We immediately get them into another 3rd down. They can't even make a throw. So it all comes down to this. Are we going to get that stop on Indiana? Yes. No. I guess we literally hit him into the 1st down. We could not have been more unlucky, and that was placed right where it needed to be. This isn't good. I'm not sure exactly how many points we need for it to be a blowout, but it's a fumble. It's a fumble. If we can just avoid taking a safety here, that's probably going to do it. And we're just going to hit them underneath. Make it 3rd and 2. Continue to chew some clock and let our guys do the blocking that we need to get this first. It'd make me really happy if Bradley Soto could break off a huge run, but he doesn't have that same elusiveness as Darren Gold, even with his speed, that makes me think he's going to do it. I guess barring a miracle, we are going to be giving this back to the Hoosiers, but they haven't seemed to be too concerned about potentially pulling off this comeback. We just gave up that 4th and 5, though. We could have ended it right there. I really want these visits to go well. And as helpful as that sack is, they still have 30 seconds to make something happen. I don't know why their offense didn't play like this for most of the game, but they have figured things out a little bit more. And if they just get a few more yards, that's going to do it. Send the spy. You got to throw it away. Okay, we actually got our chance to continue this blowout. One more play. This is literally it. The hitch was open, and we gave it up. We gave it up, but he's short. He's short. They aren't going to get off another snap either, so we have won this one by 24. That should impress all the visiting recruits quite a bit. Sure enough, 4-star defensive tackle Brady Westbrook has committed, and we also got 4-star Elijah Kessler. As nice as that seems, the next time players are coming on a visit is Week 9 against Pittsburgh, and I'm not sure if some of these prospects are going to make it to that moment because we are not able to hard sell on them. Nebraska taking the lead for the receiver. Again, he's super slow. Will I be upset if we lose him? Not really. Especially since we've inserted ourselves in a couple more battles for a 4-star receiver and tight end that other schools offered scholarships to, but weren't going heavy on. There's still plenty of time before we have to figure any of that out. Ohio State is next on the schedule, as in 99 overall. And even though we had difficult games to start our season, knowing that we have to go to Ohio State and Texas on the road back-to-back weeks, that is where things really get to another level. Notre Dame and Penn State ends the year too. But we are at least finally getting some respect. Even if we're not ranked above some of the teams that we beat, we're inside the top 25 comfortably. And I'm going to be able to spend some more of these coach points making sure that our wide receivers, tight ends, and our linemen all start the 4th quarter hot in close games. We're also going to keep on upgrading our quarterback. In the future, I want him to start the 4th quarter hot. Look at Cordell Pepper, by the way. This is a freshman receiver that is a 95 overall, 96 speed, 295 overall receivers on Ohio State. It makes sense for their type of team. They always got great wide receivers. They also have a 91 speed, 90 overall quarterback as a senior that's going to be throwing them the ball. So I feel pretty comfortable saying we have our hardest matchup of the season coming up. There are lots of extremely talented players on this team that we're going to have to figure out how to stop. But if their play calling isn't all that, it'll make things much easier on us. Deep post, first play, Humphries getting another interception for this team. He's going to cut it to the outside and get locked down. But who even cares? We just opened up this game with the best play that we could have started with. For that to be my first play of the day, I feel like I'm in for a good night of winning football games. And we just got to ride this wave. Darren Gold, counter run, gets destroyed. Before he knew it, he was getting plowed, but it's okay. We see man-to-man coverage, and we're just going to throw it over the middle. That'll make it a 3rd and 1. Something Von Meekins might need to pick up himself, or we'll just let Darren Gold take it. Within just a couple of minutes, we are already getting a stop and should be in the end zone too. He just jumped over the whole line. Von Meekins is athletic, but I didn't know he was that athletic. During his freshman season, when he was throwing 2 interceptions a game, some were making Alexander Bean comparisons, but now I'm not sure that I see it. He's become an extremely solid player for us. On 3rd and long, we're just going to leave him open over the middle. So that is really unfortunate. It looks like everything is locked down here, though. I should have ran at the QB. Instead, we let him throw it away. Quick drag to make this a 3rd and 4. And I think the best thing we could do here is just run Tampa 2. Except over the middle, again, they have found our weakness. That gap between the safeties and linebackers has not been working out for us. But Darian Humphries is having himself a day. Run to the outside. We get hands on him in time. So it's 3rd down. They're most likely just going to throw this football. I couldn't see a run coming. We have the hitch guarded. We just need some pressure in there. Make that tackle. They got to kick their 3. Parker East is a junior kicker, but if you know the history of Ohio State kicking, then I would not trust him, even from this distance. Maybe they finally found a good one, though. First run, getting tracked down. And on 2nd and 11, they're pressing deep, but we're not going to take that risk. I couldn't just throw it up to Cam Lock, not against an Ohio State corner. We're going to hit our corner route, though, and it's another bad throw. So Von Meekins just sold on back-to-back plays, and I was glazing him. I was hyping him up, but that is not what we need. Sometimes I wonder if we should have just had him sit for a couple years while we went with the other quarterback on the bench. Jason Bachman transferred in the same season that Von Meekins did, except he is a lot more accurate. We just wanted to stick with the guy that we could have for longer. Von Meekins also had more potential, but he's costing us right now. We were just out of position. They find him in the seam. And the Ohio State offense has woken up. We thought that we were at least going to make the tackle there twice. It took 3 dudes hitting him. And this is where I get frustrated. This is where I send in a lot of pressure. We get a pick. We don't get a pick. I genuinely don't know how you drop that ball, and I could drop the corny line on you. Oh, that's why he plays cornerback, not receiver, but I'm too frustrated to even say that. Okay, that's a great throw. Very risky in that situation. We could have jumped that for a pick 6. They handed off on 3rd down. We got the stop. But the whole reason they ran it is because they always knew this was 4 down territory. Are they going to run it again? They do. They do. I can't believe we got hands on him in time. We're going to have to drive 94 yards down the field here to score. But so far, so good with Darren Gold. We're going to let Cam Lock take 3. And then when they think he's about to get a 2nd jet touch pass in a row, we just hand this football off. We got numbers on this side. Problem is, some of these Buckeyes are just hawking us down a lot quicker than I thought they'd be able to. Darren Gold is certainly not going to get any huge plays in this game. But I'll take a 7-yard carry here. If he can get us that, immediately gets brought down. On 3rd and 10, we have been able to see that it's going to be cover 1 before the play. Question is, will we catch the football? And no, we won't. So when Enrique Cotran transfers out later in the year because he's not happy with his playing time, just know it's because he can't catch. I can't even believe that. There was no reason he should have dropped that ball. Quick check down, we'll make the tackle. But we should be able to score more points. And instead, we're just hoping to get a stop. I'm a little scared to go cover 0 here, but my theory is they're just going to hand it off. We sent 7. They could only block 6. That'll allow us to take a timeout here and get the ball back before the end of the first half. If they would have run inside zone, we would have probably been able to stop it as well. It was either that or they bust off a touchdown. In my opinion, that risk is fully worth it, though. Quick throw to Bryce Kroon. We might hit him again here, depending on whether or not they were going to play him. Underneath, he is at the 44. And it just said Ohio State is coming out in cover 1. Von Meekins waits until he can step up and scramble. They had to double team our running back. Darren Gold would have been open if they didn't. Enrique Cotran makes the catch, gets nothing, and continues to be absolutely useless. Looks like Darren Gold, though, is going to get us a 7. And worst case scenario, we go into this half up 10-3. but we're going to have the first down. I'm not exactly sure what play we have out there on the field, which is a little concerning. We're probably about to get rocked. Here on 2nd and goal, I wanted to throw a quick out route, but it's not there. Halfback angle gets dropped into a pick. Stuff just happens. Stuff happens to make us lose that should never happen. What is that now? 2 drops, one of them going into an interception. We had 2 missed throws on a drive that we could have scored points on. I genuinely think I'm playing about as well as I can, and it still isn't going to matter. Between these sliders and not having a team on the level of the Buckeyes, you really feel the difference. But in my opinion, at this point on this game, it's the best way for me to make rebuilds still fun and more realistic for me, since I've played a lot. If I just run base Heisman, you all saw what happened in the online dynasty. I'm going to end up doing pretty good. So we had to make it challenging. And on 3rd and 5, no luck getting Cam Lock on a slant, which is really annoying. But eventually, I think we were able to get it on him. He's going to be wide open, too. That was an in route, not a slant, but he's putting on the burners, and this is going to allow him to take it to the crib, putting us up by 11. The separation on an in route versus if he would have been on a slant is probably a huge difference, so we're going to have to look to that more throughout the year. It's not as deep, but that's okay if he can just turn up field like that. And our linebacking core is holding it down right now. We can't get there with Tim Gold. But you best believe he knew exactly where that ball was going. That was scary. I think if DeAndre Chun had more quarterback design runs, he could be a menace. And on 3rd and 11, we're just dropping our guys back. We're pass committing. That works. I can't believe that we are currently controlling the game like this at Ohio State. They are playing UMass. Why are they doing as bad as they are, trying to turn that upfield? We really need to have a long, sustained drive here, though, if we want to be able to beat the Buckeyes. The longer it takes them to get us off the field, the better. And I love that type of fight out of Darren Gold. We'll go straight back to the run. He'll get another 9. And then we can put in Bradley Soto for a carry, who loses 2. As annoying as it is, I got a plan for 3rd down. It simply involved hitting our tight end. But Ohio State did some good scouting. They knew exactly where we were going to go. It was covered whether that ball came out or not. And so it's back to our defense looking to make plays against this quarterback. Darian Humphries lurks him twice. He won't get free from 89. But this is why I am keeping him in the lineup. His experience has really started to pay off. Darren Gold just takes it in with ease, and we're up by 18. I'm really starting to like what match coverage is doing for this team. Granted, their tight end was wide open on that play. Darian Humphries got the interception. He just happened to be there. But that's the type of chemistry our guys got. We want them to cover for each other, and that's just going to be out of Tim Gold's reach. 89 is shedding 4 tackles before going down. Don't even get me started on the fact that he is just a freshman. Quick throw to the flat. Big hits. If you all don't remember, a lot of you were clowning on me in the comments for big hits like that, just diving and missing the tackles. But now that our tackling's better, it's actually starting to connect and make a difference. To open up this 4th quarter, just a quick throw underneath is all the Buckeyes can do. And I'm sure that they're going to go for it if they don't pick up this 3rd down. But we didn't give them many options there. I really liked our coverage. We were pressing over on this right side, though. Are we able to stick with him? We can't. And that's on our defensive coordinator for calling cover 6. He needed to be backed off in that situation. Of course, Ohio State is going to beat us deep. We very rarely press them. And we're trying to take away some of the clock here. Darren Gold has a massive running lane to hit. So as long as we can keep this up, we should be all right. I can't imagine that they're going to leave Thad Wade open here, but we'll get a few. And they're running press man-to-man. I don't know if Cam Lock is going to be deep, but we got someone open. It's on target. Bryce Kroom brings it in. So look at the senior making a difference for us. They're out there in double mug. That's easy for us to turn up the field on. The Buckeyes are going to have to start using their timeouts, and Darren Gold gets another first. By this point, I'm feeling a lot more confident, but I would still like to see us score, and I'd rather take the sack. If Bryce Kroom doesn't get open here, what we'll do is we'll kick 3. We were never going to force that ball. Ohio State almost blocked the kick, but now they're out of timeouts, down by 14 points with less than 2 minutes left on the clock. I just have a hard time believing they'll come back. On 2nd and 10, they're just going to go to the sideline very quickly. He almost stayed in bounds. I guess we're not going to be able to back off our guys too much, or that's just going to be an obvious receiver they're going to hit. And I don't mind staying in cover 3 or cover 4. Did they really think that Sharp was just going to get burnt like that? As worried as I was about this Ohio State quarterback, he's been one of the worst ones we've faced all season, though I feel like most of the quarterbacks haven't been good. I can't believe our defense has been making them look this bad. But they have on 4th down. Coming over the middle, it's not there. It's just not there. I would have liked if freshman safety Russ Haslam got an interception. It would have been the first in his career, but he clearly just didn't want it. We're going to pick up a double-digit win at Ohio Stadium. Not many teams can say that. As we start to land the commitments of all these other 3-stars, though, and check back in on the 4-stars who are on a week 9 visit, we just need them to stay on our board for a little bit longer. And I found a couple other 4-stars from the Northeast pipeline that I didn't go after originally. We're trying to enter the battle late. It's probably too late, but we'll just have to wait to find out. Texas is coming off of a win in the Red River rivalry, 46-45. So it was a shootout. It was a good game, and that's who we are about to play on the road. We're all the way down here at number 15. We are getting just as much respect as Tulane, despite playing this very tough schedule. Ohio State now has 3 losses, so it's not even seen as a quality win. I will say, though, in a couple of weeks when the college football playoff poll comes out, I think they're going to rate us a little bit higher. Texas has the top 2 players in the Heisman Trophy race, both of them being seniors, and they have 3 receivers above a 95 overall, a 95 overall quarterback. I mean, what are we supposed to do about facing a roster like this? I think they are easily the most loaded team that we've had to face all year, and it's going to be our first college game day experience. When everybody's finally paying attention to UMass, we can't get embarrassed, and just don't let this stadium pulse get to us. We need 4 or 5. This is one of those games where I don't mind leaning on the run even more than we already do. But when they're chasing us down like that, we can't. 3rd down, Cam Locke doesn't get much separation. And that was our whole plan there. That was who we wanted to throw the ball to. Getting held to a 3-and-out is not the bright start we wanted in this one. Returner also looks fast. A little bit of a late hit after the play, but no one saw it, even the ref that was standing there. I'm more concerned about the quarterback masterclass that Lorenzo Eaton just put on, though. Almost 500 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. This could get ugly, especially since they're running hurry-up mode, which I find so hard to stop. On 3rd down, to stop the run, we ended up manning up one of our corners. I really don't know if I can trust any of them to be on an island when Texas has so many extremely good receivers. Why did you not put your hands up? I thought we were about to get an interception, but Lorenzo Eaton wanted everyone to think that. He's good enough to place the ball there. And the Longhorns just feel like a whole different level of team versus anything else we've had to go against this year. I might take that back, though, if we're able to run the football like that. No one picked him up the block. And we're letting a freshman cornerback do that to us. Off of 1 tackle, though, Darren Gold fights to the 40. And we should be able to get this 3rd and inches. Just an easy pull with Von Meekins. We have to calm down. We have to be able to lock in. And scoring on this drive would do that. 2nd and 9. The bubble might have gotten us a little bit more, but I was worried about forcing it. We don't want to take a sack here. Thad Wade is going to get naked fighting to the 10. And Texas is going to have 2 guys over there. But who cares? It doesn't matter. We had the numbers advantage. They're still able to make a play. Von Meekins is going down. You cannot fumble it as well. They got the ball. Every player that's making a play for Texas, it pops up that they're just a freshman, at least on their defense, which really scares me because it's not just going to be this season where they are as good as they are. No big runs, no big runs. Mafu apparently got hurt off of that tackle, though, which means Haslam is out there. We got a freshman free safety playing against all these seniors. But you know what? It is his opportunity to earn as much playing time as he can. 3rd and 5, we have an opportunity to stop the Longhorns, but it was a halfback screen. They spun into our tackle. And we're just going to let this punt bounce. But it was such a soft roll. How are we supposed to go 96 yards down the field versus this defense? Final play to end the 1st quarter. Another run. Darren Gold actually gets loose here. Darren Gold with the chance to make another defender miss. And his 53 rushing yards are the only reason that we're even in it. If we had to punt from back there, Texas would have scored in like 3 to 4 plays. Nowhere for Darren to go. Which means we are probably going to need to throw the ball. And he wasn't open. I couldn't even get Cam Locke on the route that I wanted. I figured they know a halfback screen was coming. But it still felt like the best play call we could have in that situation, and I'm scared, very scared of this returner. That is why. He puts them on the 45-yard line, and that's out of Tim Gold's reach. It's a missed tackle. This tight end is crazy. I mean, clearly Mafu isn't at his best health-wise to even be out there on the field. But one of our main defensive leaders wants to stay in the game, and I can't blame him. He's led us to an undefeated season so far. We get a sack, forcing them to need a huge gain on 3rd and long, and this is where we just got to run up with Culliver. They go underneath. Great tackle. Assuming Texas hits this, they're up by 10. But if our offense was just capable of scoring, this is starting to look like a winnable game. I have faith that we're eventually going to put together a good drive. I'm just not sure when it's going to come. It needs to be soon. We're going to let Bryce Kroom try and get around him. He's not our most elusive receiver. They're all over the run here. And I guarantee that Von Meekins is about to throw straight to one of those linebackers. If they are not sitting, where they're at. Everyone knows that we're going for this, coach suggestions included. Our zig gets open with Stephen Ogden. And so there's still hope for this UMass team. We just need to close out the first half with a point. They are not making it easy for us, though. We're going to have Ogden underneath once again. He has the first. And I'm starting to really like Stephen Ogden. He is our future best receiver. Still 2 minutes left on the clock. That is important to keep in mind. Von Meekins won't have the first. And I think we go for it, even if Darren Gold can't get this on the ground. It's going to be close. It's 4th and inches, and we got Thad Wade underneath. I was trying to put a zig out there, but the Stadium Pulse actually benefited us in that situation because that route worked even better. Halfback screen, out to Darren Gold. He makes one guy miss. And I've heard good things about the duo run on this game. We're about to see how that blocking looks here. Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. Now we just need to prevent Texas from getting in field goal range in the final 28 seconds of this one. They want it real bad, though. They're calling timeouts. I'm going to watch the running back underneath so they can't take him again. We should have been able to get a sack, but it's fine. Their tight end is most likely just coming on a crosser here. Instead, they're going to test us. He could have had that. You can never underestimate some of the coverage that we have out there on the field. We had somebody in the area, and we still almost gave up field goal range, but that's going to take things to the end of the first half. We just had to kick off the Texas to start the second. Haslam was in there, and we hit this kid twice, but he won't go down. Defensive injuries not being kind to us, though if we can get an interception here, which we can't because it was placed so well, then we would have been right back in it. It just can't be that easy for Texas. This is where we need to make sure that all they're able to get out of this drive is a field goal. Halfback draw. We saw it coming. We can get this stop on 3rd and 7, especially if they're going to run it, though he is just making everyone miss. I pass committed, though. Our defensive line was not there to get hands on him early, and I'm not sure how long Texas is going to keep on just running, but for a split second, it felt like they had found something. They just threw it over 3 of our guys. Lorenzo Eaton just places his balls better than Von Meekins does. There's not much else to say about it. I know for a fact that if we want Von Meekins to make a good throw here, they might even intercept it. They do. They just snagged it over Thad Wade's head. He didn't even try to go up and make a catch on that one. If you made it this far and you were wondering how we were still winning every game, I was confused too. I was like, this is incredible. Compared to last year, we feel unstoppable. Not anymore. We have clearly come back down to reality. We can still get blown out by teams too. That was something that happened a few times last year. And if we're going to stay in this one versus Texas, we got to score quick. I don't think we've really let Von Meekins go 5 wide this season. He sure won't be doing that here since he just got injured, but we're going to see how Bachman places the ball. And it's an interception. His first play is an interception. To be fair to him, Cam Locke didn't get open at all. But that's why all the way up until his senior year, he has just sat on the bench for us. Texas trying to run the football here. I thought we'd force a fumble. The last couple times we've gotten them into these 3rd and longs, we just haven't been able to force a stop. We did hear that. So now we have to figure out what we're going to do with it. Evidently, Von Meekins is going to stay healthy. It said that he was done for the game, but I guess he had a change of heart. I hope this doesn't affect him throughout the rest of this year. And after rolling all the way out, we get Cam Locke. I'm not sure exactly how to feel about that one, but once again, we are going to have Van Manen. He is going to be at the 14, and Texas has to take a timeout. We started doing something right, that's for sure. We're feeding our tight ends. I mean, that's the solution. And I swear, if Von Meekins fumbles this away, I will not forgive it. That puts this game back in reach for us, giving us a little bit of hope when we probably shouldn't have any, as Texas throws for the first. And we better enjoy this hurry-up offense while we can now, because once the 4th quarter comes, they're going to want to chew clock. On 2nd and 10, we're able to get out there, but we just missed. We whiffed on a tackle. DeVoe went for the big play, and it is going to cost us, allowing Texas to head into the 4th quarter with the ball up by 10. I did the dumb thing where I just hit their offensive line as well because I was confused what player I was on. I swear I've already done that like 3 times this season, but I'm just moving around our defenders pre-play. Sharp was so close to being able to get to that football. So close doesn't win you football games, though. That's what we're learning. 2nd and 10, we're just going to have to predict a run until that motion. Now we're dropping our guys back. They still handed it off. And they have stayed in hurry-up mode. Halfback screen, 3rd and 6. We should be able to make this tackle. Come on, guys. Now I thought, perfect. They will literally just kick a field goal after that. Instead, though, they have different plans. So we're waiting. We're going to try and hit Cam Locke on the steep post. I'm going to just send this one up, and of course, we get hit. I didn't mind a one-on-one there. Von Meekins trying to escape the pressure. I don't know if he's going to be able to get around this, but he does, and we're throwing it late. Rough couple plays for the offense, just free balling it. It's not working, but Darren Gold cuts up. He gets the first, and maybe we can get a little bit of momentum back. Looks like Thad Wade is not open. I'm going to trust him to catch it anyway. I mean, what else are we supposed to do at this point in the game anyway? We are trying to pull off a comeback here. Tons of separation. on Muse. Did he get to that? Hang on. We might have to see if he's able to get open again. We got Thad or Bohanna, but it sure is not on target. Second down. Every read was missed. Every single read was missed. Making it 3rd and 10. We're going to throw it underneath. We're going to see if Stephen Ogden can pick this one up for us. And listen, I realize there's not that much time left on the clock for us to score and then still get 2 stops. But I'm doing the best that I can. Von Meekins scrambles in. First play for the Longhorns is just going to be a run. We knew it was coming. But what I'm more worried about is if we can continue to stop it. I feel like they're just going to make us wait here for 30 seconds before they snap the ball. And here we go. 3rd and 7. It's a quick throw, and it's a good one. I don't know what more we can do there. Our zone coverage just didn't show up. So Texas has us exactly where they want us. I probably should have used our final timeout, but instead, I didn't. I let the 2-minute timeout hit. And now I have to burn it so we can get this ball back. At the very least, Von Meekins is going to get a little bit more experience throwing the football against a really good team. Can't believe we caught that. But you know what? We'll take it. Cover 4. We know that Bryce Kroom is going to be able to get open, only because it was quarters, not typical cover 4, and we got Thad Wade up the seam. I feel like this is turning into the most yards Von Meekins has thrown for all season. Darren Gold could not have been more open, but none of this matters if we can't recover the onside kick that they just scooped up. You know what, though? We could have played better. Multiple mistakes are the reason we're going to lose for the first time this year. I'm not going to be upset with that result, but I am upset with the fact that Pittsburgh, who is 3-3, is ranked so much higher than we are. We're about to play them, though, so we're going to get our chance to prove that we're better. Unfortunately, Russell Sermons has already committed to Nebraska. He did not make it till this week. He didn't even want to waste his time coming to Massachusetts, seeing how we did against the Panthers, who have a 90 overall quarterback, but outside of that and a couple really solid linebackers, not too much to be concerned with, though Larry Robbie, if he gets to that second level, he is gashing our defense. I don't think that's going to be too huge of a problem for us because typically we are bringing guys down pretty soon. But if we don't get hands on him quick, he's just going to make us pay. That's our reality. I love a good game in the rain, though he could be slipping right out of us. They slip out of a tackle as I'm saying that, and this could be the first kick return we give up. Bradley Soto did not give up on the play, though. By the way, the freshman running back, he wants to transfer out. He doesn't like our play style. He doesn't think we're running the football for enough yards a game. We got 2 guys down there. Larry's going to have a hard time getting away from that, and he's going to take this carry for 2. The kick return for Pittsburgh was not ideal, but I really thought that we were about to get them off of the field very quick. Larry Robbie with another couple. Now he's running to the outside, and the blocks are looking good for him. This is what I'm saying. We can't let him get to that second level. Just like that, we're down 7-0 in the first minute, and here's the big rushing yards that we're going to have to start getting. I'm hoping Darren Gold can go for like 200 in this game. That's the plan, because at least for now, I think he's rushed for less yards than he did last season. I'm not sure if they're going to fall for this, but we tried to get some of our guys open on 3rd down, and Cam Locke will bring it in. So the drive stays alive, and the halfback dive is for 4. Now we let Bradley Soto take this one to the outside. There's a lot of space out there for him to go for, and I'll continue to run stretches if those are going to open up the field. I really don't want him to transfer away. That's my biggest worry, because it already looks like in the future we're not going to have too many receiving playmakers on this team. Thad Wade with the reception. He's at the 1, and there is no reason that we shouldn't be able to finish it off. With this being a big visit week, not only do I want to beat the Panthers, but I also want to blow them out. I know that is setting a very lofty goal, but I have faith that it's achievable. Just got to bring down Larry. On 3rd down, I don't think they're going with the jet touch pass, but they did, so we're going out to make the tackle. We do in time. And the fact that they couldn't convert there is actually pretty sad, because I did not think we were going to be able to pull that off. Now we let Bradley Soto turn upfield. He can't get around him. That one guy just prevented what could have been a punt return for a touchdown. We'll take 6. Clearly, when we're running the football, we're fine. And then if needed, we can mix in a pass. Thad Wade catches it again. He's been a consistent target for us, though we should have gotten more. We've already given Darren 10 carries in this first quarter, so I decided to drop back, and that is when the Panthers got a sack. 3rd and 12, we're going to need a lot here, and we're just going down again. They put us exactly where they wanted us, though I think this punt's going to be all right. Their returner doesn't scoop it up. Why do you touch it there? It's little details, but those little details can make a huge difference. With them flipping this play, I'm not going to be able to get back there. They might just have to test us or run out of bounds. It's always nice when the quarterback for the other team is a little bit dumb, but Larry is still on his feet. That could have been a lot worse than it was. We've decided to send a blitz, but since the quarterback kept it, no one was planning on it. He's got 97 acceleration, 91 speed. I can't believe we even caught him. It was too late. Jason Michaels gets a 55-yard touchdown run, and we go back to the ground. One thing that happened last season was we would go on winning streaks or losing streaks. It's seeming like that's going to happen here as well, that we're going to lose this game just like we lost to Texas. And it'll be a hard trend to break, but I would like for that to be different. I can't believe we just handed this off to our quarterback. That was a weird play underneath. We're just going to hit Ogden, let him get the first. And I think Thad Wade is going to be super open here, except it's a bad throw. Von Meekins is going to cause me to spiral at some point if he continues to do stuff like that. We literally just want him to throw a crisp spiral. Thad Wade, though, the reliable target is reliable again. As we get another carry on Bradley Soto, he gets caught, but I've not lost faith in him yet. I'm going to give him another shot at it, and he'll pick up a lot more. 3rd and 3 should be a quick throw to Cam Locke. He is going to get open. The question is, can we put it in his hands? And the answer is no. So it's 4th and 3. He gets open once again, but it's going to be enough of a distraction for us to drop it. Bryce Kroom, you suck, buddy. I just refuse to believe that he was a 5-star. Has he done anything to seem like a 5-star recruit to you? He's slow. He stinks. He'll get clamped down by an 80 overall corner as long as he's got like 90 speed. And they're just bouncing off of tackles. They bounce off of 2 tackles. EA is really trying me. It's just going to be one of those games. We already know it. Run on 3rd down. We're on the outside. And we have called a timeout. But what can I even say about the fact that we dropped that last ball? He was so open. There wasn't a guy within like 10 yards of him. And then they get that stupid animation where they just like fumble the ball like this. You look like a NAIA player. I don't even know if NAIA has football. Those schools legit have like 500 kids. I need to chill out on them though. My parents went to those types of schools and they loved it. So good for them. Heck, I went D1 and Northern Kentucky didn't even have a football team. That's something I really wish the Norse would eventually do. I know we'd be FCS, but I just want a football team to root for. I want to find a way to get involved, too. Let me help. I'll film content for free. I'll do any type of promotion. Just let me take Northern Kentucky to that next level. I've already decided in my life I will never be a football coach. There was a time where I thought I would, but it was very short-lived once I got to see firsthand how much work goes into prepping at any level. You have to work your way up the ladder super far, and I just like the recruiting aspect of it. So maybe as a recruiting advisor. Who knows? I can't imagine in 10 or 15 years I'm just going to be sitting here still playing games. I would like to be, but your time on YouTube seems to come and go a little bit quicker than that. Huge play. By the way, to end the half, and we throw a pick. We throw a pick. I was so locked in to what my future holds. No. Cam Locke isn't fast enough to catch him. He's gone. He's gone. I'm so upset. I am so upset. Cam Locke's going to beat the press to open up the second half. He should be able to run under this. Can he go all the way? Okay, we're right back in it. That was really fast. We're also going to send 5 players every single time. Until they figure out a counter to it, we want those guys up on the line. And here we go, 3rd and 9. Linebackers over the middle of the field cannot cover everything. So it is time to get frustrated. He could throw it to the flat. We would have had an interception if we just didn't hit him. About to be 3rd and 4. Okay, I don't love that we were pressing off rip, but it looks like we were able to back our guys off. We're there. We're there. Why aren't we able to get the pick 6 the same way that we are? They just go back to the slants and it is all fine. So we just need to score on this drive. I was really mad with how we finished out the first half. Von Meekins getting chased down by 95. There's just no world where those two are the same speed. Oh, Cam Locke's got it. Cam Locke's got it. Staying in hurry-up mode, we're going to do the same thing as Pittsburgh. We're going to be frustrating to them. But it just doesn't work the same. He isn't open. He's not open. I don't love Stephen Ogden is the kid that we're looking for on the drag either. He only has 84 speed. But you know what? He was still able to make the catch. What is this blocking that we're experiencing, though? They just adjusted to us flipping the play, so we're not getting far. But it's going to be cover 1. So I have my read. Thad Wade getting open, coming over to the football. That's going to be another touchdown. Actually, I think he got stopped at the 1 early on. But it's okay. Von Meekins is thrown for a couple still. And we are now in a tie game. If this is a run to the left side of the field, it could get a little bit dangerous. We don't have the numbers over there. Luckily, Pittsburgh didn't do much there. We're going to run up the middle, and he can't connect. You see, if they only block 5 and we send 6, we could actually get some really good pressure in, but they're prepared now. And I don't know why I'm sending another blitz, but we are. He's in. Okay, 2nd and 17. They need a lot of yards here, and it's just the easiest interception of all time for Sharp to come down with. Damian Sharp also is going to put us around midfield, and we can take off. We can take off for the biggest run that we've had probably all season. Gold is dusting all these sorry defenders. I am sick of the Panthers. I'm sick of the gimmicks that they've had to be up 21-7. We are the better team. And what are they going to do to counter all this? They're just going to hand it off. We have so many guys in the box. On 2nd and 10, they're going to take the play clock all the way down to 0, so we'll take the flag. And we're going to drop 8 guys back, though we've left the running back so open. This could be scary. It could be scary, and that is exactly why nobody is able to wrap up Larry. That right there is the problem with quarters coverage. We didn't have everyone understanding their assignment, but the run is not working out, bringing over another guy in motion. We could be able to lurk him, and we get there with the freshman safety. Go all the way, Haslam. Just put on the Jets. If he got caught by 55, it would have been a real problem. But I'll tell you one thing about him. He's got elite depth. He's only getting better. I don't think Russ Haslam's going to make it all 4 seasons at UMass. We could have had that one too. I think we have found our solution to the best defense we can run. We still need to switch it up so often, or else Pittsburgh will be able to pick up on it. But that clearly didn't work there. Looks like they're going nowhere. But of course they're not. They're literally giving their tight end carries. We should have known that this was going to be a keeper. He breaks off a 1, and he'll go to the 40. Nope. He's going to go all the way. He might go all the way. Jason Michaels is single-handedly saving this Panthers team. Of course they go back to it. Why wouldn't they? If this is inside zone, though, I thought we might be able to get him. Interesting choice. They're going for the 2-point conversion, and they don't have it at all. Bradley Soto also decided to take out the kickoff, only to the 14-yard line, so we're not in a good spot. I was really hoping that we could just finish this one off now, but we're going to have to convert stuff like this 3rd and 3, and they forced a fumble that we just bounce on top of. I think it's safe to say there's not going to be any blowout bonuses for the guys that are on a visit, and we might have gotten a little bit too confident too soon, especially if they're going to run this effectively. I'm a little bit worried for this next play because we were ready to send a blitz, but we did enough to knock Larry off balance. They're just going to be throwing the football, and honestly, I didn't see much. Tight end was open, though. I think it's about time that we try and get in another blitz, and we're just going to overload this right side, though if it's a handoff, could have been bad. 3rd and 12 for the first time in this game. We're going to mix in some cover 2 man. We had to make sure we got over there. Running back's open. Running back is open. The motion threw us off. So this is the game. I doubt they get this snap off before the 2-minute timeout, but they did, and I wasn't prepared for it. We can get to that ball. We can get to that ball. Culliver has the interception. It is looking like we're going to be okay versus the Panthers. We just need a first down. I feel like it's really not asking for too much. We got him. We got him deep. Can we make that throw? It would be the greatest throw of the season. We got him. Okay, I'm going to look really stupid. I'm going to look really stupid because I thought we caught that ball. But it turns out he got a hand on it right here that swatted it. And so when it fell into Cam Lock's hands, it was already on the ground. He just kicked it up. I didn't see that part. I really thought that we just ended the game. But if they're in man-to-man coverage, Cam Lock can still end the game for us. He just has to bring it in. Now, here's where I wonder if I want to still try and score a touchdown, because that would really help out our chance of getting those guys to commit. The game is over. We have a 7-point lead, and we do risk the chance of fumbling the ball. So that's why I'm hesitant. But if we can get them to bite down and then have a deep throw, it would be worth it, in my opinion. We're just going to have to scramble with Von Meekins. And I think we should probably accept that we're not scoring another touchdown. We have 3 plays, 13 seconds to do so. But if we throw an interception, I will never forgive myself. So here's our start. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Catch him, Cam Lock. Catch him, Cam Lock. That was so dumb. We'll never do anything like that again. We don't need the visit bonuses. We're just dropping everyone back there at the 37. We're not going to give up anything from the 37-yard line. Surely. Swat it. Swat it. There's a flag. They're going to be at the 22. We're going to choke. This is going to be really bad if they win. Once again, dropping everybody back. The seam is not open. We're fine. We almost blew it, but we are going to pick up the win against Pittsburgh. As a reward, 4-star running back Ian McNown did commit. But unfortunately for Eric Adcock, it just wasn't enough to jump Miami, who's got him on a Week 11 visit. Looking ahead, the highest-ranked team left on our schedule is going to be on the road this week at Louisville. Then we get to play UConn. So if we can just get through those 2 games, we'd be 9-1. We'd probably be in playoff contention. Then it all comes down to whether or not we can beat Notre Dame and Penn State. I truly feel like if we go 3-1 in these last 4 games, we should have a playoff spot, but I just see how they're treating other undefeated teams. TCU, Texas A&M still not being highly ranked. This is the college football playoff poll, which is problematic because I thought we'd be ranked higher. Earl Ruffin for Louisville is now a 99 overall, but the roster surrounding him is not doing him any favors. Their backup running back, who is 95 speed, is injured, and I didn't see receivers that really worried me. But we still need to take them just as seriously as anybody else. Obviously, Earl Ruffin has still been able to carry them to number 6 in the country. We saw how we fell down to Pittsburgh, who had 3 losses, 21-7, fast. And Darren Gold rushed for 170 yards last week. I knew he busted off like a 58-yard touchdown, but I still didn't realize it was that many. He's getting us started right here with 25. And this is exactly what we need to get our play style up. We're going to take this shot. Cam Lock has the size. Mismatch, it was in his hands. I'm never going to be upset at something like that unless they happen to intercept it. But it has forced us onto an early 3rd and 9, so Cam Lock needs to bring it in. I don't know what we do if we didn't have somebody with hands like him. Darren Gold to the outside has 10. So the drive continues. They wanted to watch Cam Lock there, which is fine. We'll just keep it on the ground, and we shouldn't have kept it there. Might have to immediately hit Thad Wade on the next play. It opened up for us. I don't know why they made it that easy, but that is back-to-back runs where we've lost a few yards. Can he get over to that ball? I really thought that we had them. We're just trying to be patient back here. Von Meekins going for a play, but this is already way too long back there in the pocket. Are we sending this? We're sending it. Okay. So when you leave your comment about how dumb I am, just blame Von Meekins. Don't blame me. He's the one that decided to throw that football. I don't know why his brain isn't capable of just throwing it away. We could have gotten a field goal there. We would have still been in an okay position. Now we're relying on our defense to get a stop against one of the best quarterbacks. And I can't say that we're playing the best football at the moment. In fact, I'm pretty upset with the football that we're playing. He's gone. He is gone. I mean, maybe we catch him, but we don't. So it literally took them 2 plays to do that to us. And I'm going to think that we can do the exact same thing. I mean, maybe we can. Cam Lock was getting pressed, but I also don't know if he can finish this off himself. He does. That is 2 weeks where he's done that. This is why if we had someone with like 97 speed, we'd be gold. He's only got 90. Really good route running, but he only is 90. They find their running back underneath. And on 3rd and 2, I have a feeling that they're about to get like a 20-yard passing play over the middle, but there's only so much that we could have done. We had to play hard flats. Too easy to read, too predictable. Sharp gonna get hands on him, but they will get us with play action and go deep whenever we load the box like this. Earl Ruffin trying to run. Don't get me wrong, he's a great quarterback, but that is not his strong suit. Who do they think they are? They don't have a Cam Lock on their team. Oh, they do. That is a freshman receiver, and I'm gonna try and get just as disrespectful back. I don't know why we're putting any other route out there on the field. Oh, he's double teamed, so we have no choice but to hit Stephen Ogden for 15. This has been a very offensive game so far, but not whenever it comes to running the football. We need more. I don't think Darren Gold has done enough on the ground so far. We're going to hit Cam Lock on that comeback. And you know what? If Von Meekins is going to stay this hot through the air, we might as well continue to let him just throw the football because it's working. I mean, we have a touchdown on this play. We literally have a touchdown on this play. They are pressing Cam Lock. I trust that he's going to beat the press. I also think we could hit Gold if he wasn't running out of bounds. What is even happening here? It's fine. It's fine. This corner cannot hold him. I have been waiting for him to have a huge game like this. This is going to be his best one. But what about our defense? Are we going to be able to stop the Cardinals, or are they going to do the same thing to us? No way. They literally just caught that on our heads. The ball placement from Earl Ruffin is so good and impressive, but we still almost got him to make a mistake there. I saw the run coming. Well, I can't believe it, but they're deciding to go for it on 4th and 2, and they should be able to convert. Unfortunately, they just had the numbers to that side of the field. It hurts a lot, but it is what it is. Don't try and thread the seam. Just hit the running back underneath. It'll be 3rd and 2. And if the track record follows, they're just going to hand this one off. Pump fake. He's open. He is open. I mean, there's not much else that we're going to be able to do about that. We should probably throw this away. They had safety help on the part of the field that I wanted to get that ball, but they're going to come out and cover one. We got the warning before the play, or alert, whatever you want to call it. Von Meekins read them, but we still weren't able to do anything with it. 3rd and 10. That's the deep safety over on that side. That's the deep safety. Cam Lock has it again. He's becoming a little bit of a streak merchant, but we'll take it. I think this is going to be the highest scoring matchup that we have been in all season. Darren Gold should have had a touchdown there. I don't know if we can forgive him for that. We need Cam Lock on an in route just because that outside corner is going to be the one manned up on him. We roll out, we set our feet, and we're able to hit him turn upfield. I think Louisville is going to get this ball back before the end of the first half too, just because we had to take it in. I mean, we can't pass up on a free touchdown. Wide receiver screen underneath for 8. And the timeouts are coming out. Do they have a quick read? They do. I don't know why we're trying to blitz Earl Ruffin. Like, he's about to throw the ball to us. He's going to be on target. He is the best quarterback in the country. This is what makes him so good. I feel like when it comes to getting a stop against him, we have almost no hope. Imagine if his receiving core that he was working with was better too. Luckily, it's now 3rd and 8. We'll see what the Cardinals got drawn up. We gave up a touchdown, but he wasn't seeing it until later. So they have no choice but to punt it back to us with about 30 seconds left in the half. We'll see where this goes out of bounds. With this being at the 16-yard line, I feel like we can do something with this, especially if they're going to let us throw underneath over and over. Now, the real trick is if Cam Lock can get open over on the sideline deep. We tried to force it. It was not there, though, so the run is going to have to be for 10. Only 15 seconds left on the clock, though. We got to snap this one quick. And we're going for a big play. Darren Gold turns upfield. He is now at the 45. What are we going to be able to do in the next 8 seconds, though? We're running. Don't fumble. And this is perfect. We set up for a 53-yarder that we missed. We did our best, but sometimes relying on a college kicker just isn't going to go well. And in that first half, we've already combined for over 600 total yards of offense. I think it's going to be an even crazier second half. Look at the play from Darian Humphries, though, getting his pressure in. He might even be able to force a pick, except he gives it up instead. He thought he could bait Earl Ruffin, but Earl Ruffin just put the right touch on it. He is now 15 for 15 against us, and Louisville's breaking out a huge run. I really don't know what to do. They're just going to try and find something quick. It'll put them at the 4. But they still have to finish off this drive, and we can't get there. Our defense that showed up for most of the season has not been here today. But I feel like defense hasn't been there for most teams that have faced the Cardinals this season. Bryce Kroom can't catch that. It's 3rd and 9. They're out there in cover 1, and Thad Wade comes to the football, fortunately. But I'm getting nervous. I'm getting the most nervous I've been all year against the Cardinals. They're not making the same mistakes that they were in the first half. I don't think we are ever going to see them come out the way that they were pressing Cam Law. And we're at about midfield. I don't know if we should be going for this here, but we're going to anyway. They're in zone coverage. Von Meekins is going to have to make a play out of this. I don't know what Von Meekins is going to need to do to complete this, but he throws it up to Bryce Kroom. We got it! We got it! I don't know how. I don't know how, because Bryce Kroom drops everything, but not when it matters. That right there is exactly why I try and keep the play alive for as long as possible, because you never know what's going to happen. I just hit the wrong button. We had the bubble. We had the bubble. This is starting to get just ugly for us, but fortunately, that was cover 2 man. This has been one of the worst, best drives that we have put together this season. Off to the races, Darren Gold. He is such a bad finisher. It's going to be difficult. We are now at the 6-yard line, but we're going to hope that our blockers pick up for Thad Wade. I think our plan has to be a run on 3rd down, this one to Von Meekins, and then we'll throw it on 4th down if we don't pick this up. He's going to be at the 1. And I almost wonder if we just run that back. They're in cover 1. We go quick, and he sees the gap. He sees the gap. Patience was key. You're going to notice we're kicking our extra points. When we're playing the way that we are, there is no simulating that can go on. Quick read. That's going to be 10. Earl Ruffin is literally just breaking down our defense on every single play. I hope they run it 3 straight times. That type of play calling is how we're going to be able to beat Louisville. And on 2nd and 12, they just go for a quick throw. This is perfect. We got them on a 3rd and long. We're there to knock the ball out, and all of a sudden, we are back in control. We just need to drive down the field against the Cardinals here and have a solid drive. We might not even need to do that, though. Oh, he's going to get caught. I thought Bradley Soto had it. I thought Bradley Soto was about to be the man. He wasn't, though. Instead, we should have gotten this out a lot quicker than we did. And we're back to 3rd and 9. They got double coverage over on Cam Lock, so we can't throw this ball to him. That is so off target. But you know what? I trusted Von Meekins on the last 4th down. We're going to go for it on 4th down again. We shouldn't have. The problem is I am still scared of Louisville and Earl Ruffin. I'm scared of this offense that manages to put together great drives almost every time. They're going to continue to do that versus us, and he's got it. He has this. I mean, we can't even stop him. Hang on now. Drive not over. We're going to run commit middle, and now they're at the 5. For whatever reason, I feel like they're going to hand this ball off again, which is why we're going to come out ready to stop the run again, except he just brushed off the tackle like it was nothing. Louisville is going to go up by 7. We have 4.5 minutes to respond. Just when it felt like we were going to be in control, we're not. I have a plan, though. This is that play that we pull out every so often. And if we got the crosser, we're going to take the crosser, except we don't even animate. We don't even animate. This team is just frustrating. It's so frustrating. He's bouncing off of that? How? If anything else too crazy happens, I'm going to hit a high enough octave to send myself back to puberty. And there's no way. There's just no way. That can't be caught. He is going to get this throw, and he's going to get this throw out quick, which is why we're trying to bring in that pressure. It just doesn't matter. They're not running the football. They aren't running the football. What are you doing? You were there. You were there. There's really nothing else that we can do now. If they have a kicker that can hit from here, this game's over. And he's gone. He's gone. Louisville is going to beat us. This was our hardest game left on our schedule, and it proved to be. I mean, we're going to need a miracle. Cross-field throws, potentially. We'll take it. It's important to keep in mind, we still have 2 timeouts left as well. We're going to have to just throw up some jump balls, though. I thought we might have that. Looking over the middle, once again, just send it. Just send it. Bryce Kroom isn't over there. He's the one that made the catch before. But it is what it is. You can tell that we have lost hope. I think we got him. I think we got him. Just turn around at the 20. With 2 timeouts left, we can get this ball back with about 20 seconds left. if we're very, very lucky. To do that, though, we need the touchdown first. We need the touchdown, and Cam Lock gives it to us. The penalty is going to be against the Cardinals. I mean, that was just the blindest of blind. We threw that up as a prayer, and he's so open on the two-point conversion. It was worth it. What we need to be careful of is that they're going to just get us with play action or something and throw the football. That's how they got their last touchdown. But I'm not sure that's going to be their strategy now. We're filling that hole. 3rd and 10, please throw the football. Please throw the football. It's a run. We hit him. We're fine. We're getting this back with about 15 seconds left on the clock. The return has nowhere to go. And my strategy is going to be simple. Throw the football up to Cam Lock and hope for the best. Come to that. I think he would have been open there. Now, I don't know if he's able to get out of bounds. Same thing here. Turn, upfield, get out of bounds, get out of bounds. Okay, this is the game. We're on the 39-yard line. We need a touchdown. It's touchdown or bust. And I think we got him. I thought we had him. We needed another second. Louisville is going to escape. And it's honestly all of our fault. Earl Ruffin was the best quarterback in the country, and we couldn't stop him. It didn't even matter that Cam Lock went for 219 yards and 3 touchdowns. Over the last 4 weeks, Von Meekins has gotten sloppy with the football. He has gotten worse. His interception and touchdown ratio is going back to what it was last year. But that's actually a little bit of an exaggeration. Actually, he's only thrown 8 interceptions so far. There are still a few games left. We cannot keep up 2 interceptions a game. He's also been rushing a good bit. But it's frustrating because we're falling to number 19 in the polls. It's not a far drop. We lost to the number 6 team in the country. Playoffs are just going to be hard to make if we don't win out. Even with our hard sells on some of these other 4 stars too, it looks like we're not winning that battle, which has me concerned for our wide receiver room next season. Without Enrique Cotran, who is supposed to be our 3rd receiver in the slot, we're going to be stuck with just Quentin Bohanna and Stephen Ogden. But if we just give him the playing time that he wants, we could still maintain him. He has a lot of potential. It might hurt us a little bit to do this, but Stephen Ogden is not going to be in the slot any longer. And we'll find out the result of that against Connecticut. We're also going to lose this right guard. Not an issue to me. It looks like Bradley Soto no longer interested in transferring. And you know what? The pathway to the playoff is simple. If we just win out, we should be in as a top 12 team. Against the Huskies, what we really need to worry about is their special teams. I don't know why they over-recruited so much there. We still have to worry about Lowe as well. He's been there for years. But quarterback-wise, Rudy Irving doesn't scare me much. They also have like no speed at all at wide receiver. I think we can get away with pressing them. And if we can't, we're going to learn that lesson very early on in this game. What I'd like to do against them is run up the score. I don't want it to be close, but we literally started off by kicking the ball out of bounds. In my defense, I might have been responding to a text. Big might. If you hold that kickoff power down for too long, you are doomed. 2nd down, it's not going to be a run. In fact, they're going to go for a huge play on us. And so I guess it's time to bring out our man-to-man coverage and see what we're able to do. Being in match, we were basically in it for that huge play anyways. They have nowhere to throw, but they are going to be able to scramble for quite a bit. There's just no shot he does a perfect spin in. We have reached that point in the season where nothing's going to go our way. That's what I am slowly accepting. If we are going to be a college football playoff team, we're going to have to make almost no mistakes to get there. I don't think it's going to matter who we're facing, just based off of what I have seen the last couple games. I still feel like against a team like UConn, I should have the freedom to do a lot more stupid stuff and just free ball it. But then Cam Lock isn't catching balls for like the first time this season. And do we have the first? We do. That was a really impressive effort to make sure that he got it. But our run game still has done almost nothing so far. We'll take this, though. We'll take this. Then we're going to pull out a quick passing play. Looks like Von Meekins was going to take a sack, but he decided to stay on his feet, and he's at the 2. So we don't need much more. We don't need much more. Now we do. Thad Wade's going to be open underneath, though, so we'll still score. And I really don't want to get into another scoring shootout because that's what we struggled against last week. We thought they wouldn't keep up with us, but they sure did. I don't know why he didn't hit his wide open receiver. He'll take his check down here. But it's still 3rd down. UConn is going to have the hitch. They're also going to have the slant. But the difference this week is we are not facing off against a 99 overall quarterback. We're facing off against like a 75. So that's where you're going to see the difference in overalls. I know people like to say overall doesn't matter in this game, but I strongly disagree with that. I actually think it matters more than ever. Our team season 1 couldn't even dream of keeping it close against UConn. Now we're throwing up jump balls to Cam Lock. It's a little bit out of his reach. But if we can disrespect our rival, I will take that opportunity to do so and then let Gold make up for it on the next play. For us to have good playing style and maintain some of our running backs, he still needs to have a good ending to this season. It helps when Soto can do that. With another year of him progressing, I really want to see how good he gets. I think he would be a stud for us next year. But I'm not sure if Darren Gold is just gone after this year. I think he still has one more season. I just checked, and he is only a junior. Von Meekins is literally just going to run this one. And I would really like to just pull away from here But UConn's got a big run. What if we just blitzed a ton of players, though? Are they going to do anything against it? Like, realistically, if they have to beat man-to-man coverage every time, are they going to be able to? Maybe it doesn't need to be off of a blitz. This is just straight man-to-man anyway. Looks like Sharp won't be getting to that ball. But he couldn't get his feet down either. They got a quick throw for nothing. And now it's 3rd and 9, where UConn were in the way. We had one of our defenders in the way, so I thought we were going to give up a crosser, but we're just getting back there. What? What? No. No, that was in Culver's hands. These are the highlight plays I like to get, but he literally didn't catch it. I think Cam Locke should be able to do something similar. So we're going to give him the chance to do something similar, embarrass this kid. I don't get it. I really don't. We have the overall advantage. We have the skill advantage. It is what it is, though. Darren Gold is awesome. He's just gliding, and on 3rd and 2, he'll get another 5. Eventually, UConn was going to bring their guys down, and they were going to press. But was Enrique Cotran really going to outrun them and score? Not what I was thinking. He's faster than Stephen Ogden, though, so that's why I want him for next season, probably more than Stephen Ogden. The junior has Platinum Press Pro, but only 84 speed. It's just a really hard combo to make work at receiver. When you face the best teams in the country, you need to have some speed. And we were able to stop them on 3rd and inches, so we're getting this ball back one more time before the end of the first half. Can't put on the Jets. I want to give Bradley Soto a couple opportunities to get a big run, but when that is what he does with it, it makes it really hard to want to continue giving this kid carries. Okay, that'll make up for it. He just needed to get a little bit more comfortable. Halfback dive might be the best look against this D. And if we can just get the time, I bet we got Cam Locke deep. We're going to fake it. He's not open. How is he not open? Create some separation, buddy. Okay, he got it. He got it. We might not be giving Von Meekins enough credit for that throw either, because that was absolute money. Just way too much time for him to think about that read. And we're about to bring 6 in Irving's face. It's just not happening quick enough. It's not happening quick enough. It's all on Mafu to make sure he goes out of bounds. That's much better than Devontae Sims taking that one for 6. I just think they're going to score. They're also being smart about the clock. They just go to one of their hitches. He takes off. He's in. And that's going to leave us 30 seconds. Our defense, though, has gotten so much worse. It is a major problem that we're giving up this many points to UConn. I don't know how Von Meekins is going to turn this into something, but I have my faith in him. He might be able to escape it. Or maybe he should have just thrown that one away. Trying to layer this ball over the middle. It's going to be a pick. So he's right back to where he was the past couple weeks. Don't be in field goal range. We literally just gave them a free 3 points if he's able to hit this. And he won't. He won't. Very close, though. It's been a rough second half of the season for this team. We might be able to open up the second half with a touchdown, though. Cam Locke was getting pressed, and he truly just did a good enough job. We're going to have to let Darren Gold reach for it. He did not have enough, making this 3rd down. We shouldn't have gotten it. We're going for a big play next, and it's not there until at the last second. They might be able to intercept that ball too. It's just a disaster on offense, but look at where all their defenders are. Halfback direct snap. They're on it. They're on it. I don't even know what to say at this point. We aren't going to be able to hit Cam Locke. We're not going to have Bryce Kroom unless he had that step. I guess he did. Typically, he won't get it. I feel like if that was against a better cornerback, it would have been an easy interception for them. But we're facing UConn, so there's the benefit. I just don't see how our games against Penn State and Notre Dame are going to go well if this is the way that we're currently playing. That's what I'm most concerned with. We've worked hard to get to this point in the season, all for it to be for nothing if we can't beat them. It would still be another year of improvement, but this is a playoff potential season for us. Do we have the seam? We don't. I really hope that Von Meekins develops his accuracy before his senior year. He should. But we've also been saying that for a long time now. There's a flag. There's a flag. We just got bailed out because that was headed straight for an interception. And instead, we got it on the 2. It is never easy in this position, though. It looks like Darren Gold's going to lose more. So we're going to lean on Von Meekins to make a play with his legs. And that's what's going to be open. It's there. Now we lock in and figure out our defense for the rest of this one. I think it's simple. We come out in cover 3. We bring Mafu up. We switch over to cover 2 with our safeties. And then we just guard everything underneath that we can. We're not going to get over to that ball, but we got him down. But I have to blame our defensive line. They had way too much time back there in the pocket. What are you doing? You give these guys one responsibility, and they're still not capable of guarding. But that's okay. 3rd and 3. Opportunity to stop the Huskies, and we do. With how good their kicker is as a 90 overall, I'm surprised that he didn't hit that field goal to end the half. He should be drilling this, but that doesn't matter too much. The counter was almost there, and I think we're going to make this a long drive of running the football if they don't stop us fast. We got a whole other quarter of football left, so it's not over. Though they sure aren't making it easy on me to want to run it because they're giving Enrique Cotran a look We're literally surviving on Von Meeken's legs. That's it. We probably could have placed that ball deep, but I wasn't willing to risk it. We're going to risk it here. Double team won't matter. I saw them get safety help late. He was not going to be able to make it over there in time. And now it's a touchdown or close. The last time we ran this play, we lost a few yards, but this time we're getting one. And I just realized we've not used Biggers, our freshman running back who has elite development. He is going to be slow his entire career, but he is a truck. So at some point, we got to let him run through somebody. That'll give us a 3-possession lead. Going to be a challenge for UConn to win now. And I'm liking a little bit more what I'm seeing out of our defense, but we can't give that up. 1st and 10 in pass protection. They had their running back for a second. It didn't last for long, though. And on the run, he's guarded. Here on 3rd and 17, I am stuck on a defensive lineman, but they just go underneath. We're fine. I think we're going to be able to get the Huskies off of the field here, ending this game. Unless they got a lucky corner out, they don't. We've now won this rivalry like 3 or 4 seasons in a row. And in trying to run out the clock, we're going to hit Cam Lock on a jet touch pass that is a little bit more open than I was expecting. He's getting in. So we closed out this game by doubling the Huskies score. It's going to be our 42nd series win. And player of the game went to Von Meekins with his 6 touchdowns. We're also going to pick up a couple 3-star commitments. I'll take it. But at the same time, we do lose another 4-star. Even though he was on a visit, he committed to Syracuse before he even went there. And just looking for some last-second receivers, I found this Jim 3-star from Boston. And for whatever reason, nobody wants Brett McPherson. He cares about playing time, so he might transfer after we don't put him on the field his first year. But he has now been added to our target list. Seeing the schools that we've lost to, Texas and Louisville, still near the top, makes me feel really good about those losses. Tulane staying undefeated themselves. And it seems like a given at this point that if we don't win out, we're clearly not in the playoff. There's a chance we're still not, even if we win these last 2 games. Notre Dame's defensive line is very scary. I don't know how we're going to run into it, especially with the talent they have at linebacker too. But that's what we're facing on defense. On offense, Mo Kamalu isn't very worrisome. Their running backs are a scary tandem. And then at receiver, this isn't as bad either. We have the home field advantage, and it might come down to who can score like 14 points first. I can't say my expectations are too high just based off of our defense recently, but it's hard for us to even sniff the playoffs. So to be this close, I really want to capitalize. Immediately, running back in the flat is getting 25 yards. Mo Kamalu is not messing around. We're not going to be able to give up anything. Even that. Why one of our edges, Nick Quigley, was playing coverage for us right there, I could not tell you, but we're there. We just aren't able to get the interception. 3rd and short, corner route is open, but it's not a good throw. Then Notre Dame came out going for it, so we have to call a timeout. I was really hoping that they'd reconsider, but they have not. 4th and 4. It's going to be one of these short underneath routes. We can hit stick, but it won't matter. That was a great opportunity to make sure that they didn't even get 3. But it is what it is. Eventually, they're going to run the ball, and we're going to be able to make a play. We're sending 5. We're trying to get pressure in fast. We can get out to him here. 4th and 1. It's weird. They didn't trust their kicker to hit from the last spot, but he comes out and misses this one too, so it kind of makes sense. He clearly is not a great kicker. We held him to 0. I don't think we're going to be able to pass as well in this game, though, as we have recently. So we're going to start with running straight into them. We are going to be able to cut this one up, and Thad Wade is still on his feet. But what are we going to do against this defensive line? They got 5 up there. Linebackers coming down. I guess it won't matter. So far, Darren Gold has rushed for 1,113 yards this season. He's looking to get to 1,500 again. That's what he had last season, but we have thrown the ball a little bit more than we did then. It's already 3rd and 9, and the Irish are going to leave Cam Lock open underneath. They have to know that that is the read. We are also staring him down here. Von Meekins, you got to slide. We're now at the 12-yard line. We'll keep on running against this defensive line, but it really wasn't there. Halfback screen, blockers on our side. Easiest touchdown of Darren Gold's career. I also noticed when we had 5 down linemen, we did our best defensively, so that's what we're going to stick with. Need this tackle. He has it. But now we're going to just put them in some clouds. Nowhere to run. I'm going to assume that Notre Dame throws in this situation. If they decide to run, we've pass committed, so I didn't think we'd hold them to 2. And this sets up a really big play going into the second quarter. We could get them off of the field right here, motioning a running back out. They basically got 4 guys over there, and it's going to bounce off of his head. Then he catches it. He finds it in the air. There's just no way. I guess they're going to pick up that 3rd and long. They really shouldn't have, but we'll run for 15. And what can you do? Getting upset won't change anything, though they literally just adjusted knowing that we somehow changed the play. That's insane. They keep on moving this safety around too based on what we're doing. I guess they realized we wanted to take the top off. And how am I supposed to feel comfortable running into this defense? I can't. 3rd and 7. We are going to pump fake. I didn't mean to pump fake. I didn't mean to pump fake. I think it makes sense to punt the ball back to Notre Dame, though, because we were playing well on defense before that really dumb touchdown. I might need to use her somewhere else, though. Just feels like the deep safety over the middle isn't really doing me any good. He's running backwards. It's a safety. That looks like me back there in the pocket. I'm not the only one that believes it's going to work. And that's why you punt the football. Halfback draw to open up the drive. Absolutely horrendous turnout. With this run also doing nothing. We're trying to run the ball, but it's literally just not there. We're going to have to force this. We're going to force this into that window, and they were there. They knew we wanted to feed it to Cam Lock. It's such a bad way for us to go out, too, because we could have punted it back to them deep. But that's what we decided to go with, and they don't have it. Okay, here we go. We're going to pack everybody in, go for a quarterback sneak. If you go for a halfback toss, it's over. And this kicker has already missed one. I would not count on him to hit this one, too. He just bounced back. We have 2 minutes and 16 seconds to respond, and it's a fumble. It's a fumble. It's a quick turnover. That's what we get for converting a running back over to receiver. They tested Humphreys, and he just didn't animate. Why? Why? I'm spamming triangle, EA. What is wrong with you? Listen, I'm no conspiracist or anything, but I genuinely believe that they just haven't wanted us to win the last couple weeks. Notre Dame has the literal luck of the Irish on their side at the moment. That'll be a first. But we got a long way to go on this drive if we're going to score before the end of the first half. I think we might be able to get away with a quarterback draw with Von Meekins. He'll slide. And this screenplay is so good because they're dropping everybody back. They're worried about us getting a big play against them. Meanwhile, we're just getting 5-10 yards at a time. It's going to continue to work for us. And eventually, they're going to have to play us a little bit closer. On 3rd and inches, I'm just going to step up with Von Meekins and run. I've now realized this could still be a tie game at halftime, even after all that we have gone through so far, especially if they don't set a spot. Let's see how they adapt. It said it was going to be cover 1, which means Cam Lock is getting a target. He held on, and now they're in cover 6. 11 seconds left on the clock. Rolling out. Von Meekins trying to do it all with his legs, but he's going to be caught. So we're going for a quick throw. We're going for a quick throw. We shouldn't be chasing points either, but I want this 2-point conversion. I don't want to be down by 1. We just need to hold on. What an ending to that half out of Darren Gold. They're also coming out pressing Cam Lock. Why are you pressing Cam Lock to start the second half? I feel like he's always going to be able to get free one of these times. He's been able to do this so many weeks in a row for us now. And we just flipped the whole script. I was upset. I was sad about how things had gone for us. But now we're up by 7. Quick tight end RPO. It was a good play call, but it wasn't quite what they needed. And how are we letting him get that over top? That is really frustrating. Drag will get them 4. But it just hit me. We could be sending 6. Looked like the quarterback was pointing us out before this play, so I highly doubt we're about to get in here. In fact, he knew that we were sending 6. So it might be time to switch up our defense. Now this is the type of look that we're going for. Lots of coverage out there on the field. Dropping 8 back. So we're going to need to either get in quick, at least make the tackle, or just hope that he makes a mistake and throws an interception to us. I think he's proven that he can adapt enough, though. Running back is open. He's open. And so we're back on offense. They're in cover 2, which will be super easy to run against for us. But then it looks like they're going to handle things a little bit smarter. We force it. We force it. Why did we force it in the seam? We didn't need to do that. It could also be returned. It could be returned. Come on. I thought we could get it there quicker. I really thought that we could get it there quicker. Luckily, they just lost 3 yards. And their RPO can't get them too many. But I have a bad feeling they are going to convert on 3rd and 5. Tim Gold just can't get there. Nothing is worse than knowing exactly where the ball is going. We also had hands on him. It threw him off. And I wonder if he's going to be prepared for us to come in like that again. Drag. They got him. Don't get the first. If we can just hold them to a field goal here, I'll be feeling all right. Though I have a bad feeling if we play inside, they're going to have a touchdown. It was there. It was there. For short down situations, I love going double mug because if they run it, we're trying to get in as many guys as possible. We'll either make them lose 3 yards or we'll give up a touchdown, but I'm willing to take that risk in a spot like that. We need Von Meekins to chill out, though. He doesn't need to force anything big. We can put together a great drive against the Irish and score soon. It just doesn't need to come off of a couple big plays, which is what we were going for when we threw that interception. If they're going to come out and cover 2, though, we could have a nice gain to Cam Lock. What a way to end the 3rd quarter. We are not out of this one yet. And with a handoff to start it, we cut to the outside for 4. It feels like a really good time to hit Thad Wade on this RPO that Notre Dame almost got to. And then we can just let Biggers finish off the drive like he should be able to as a power back. I just don't feel good about Von Meekin's quarterback sneaking this because he has fumbled here before and he fumbled again. He fumbled again. They recover it. They recover it. I can't believe we just did that. I can't believe we just did that. It's another safety. What did I say? We're either giving up a huge touchdown or we are going to make them lose a few yards. Fortunately for us, they lost a few yards. But we should be up by 4 points right now on defense. Instead, our offense that is extremely tired has to stay on the field. I don't know if Cam Lock's going to get open here either. We'll see if there's any extra help deep on him. There's not. So he's got the press beat. And it's placed well. Von Meekins with a perfect throw. What a throw. I can't believe it. We are back up by 5. We're actually running for a 2-point conversion. Typically, I wouldn't do it, but I like the look. This is where we just need our defense to have one big play. If we could force a pick, if we could force a fumble, a turnover, I am very confident we could close out this game. Notre Dame has had so much go their way. We're there. We're there. Mafu gets the pick. That's exactly what we wanted. And do you feel the playoffs? Do you sniff them? I'm smelling them. I'm feeling that they're a little bit closer. We still got to win another week. We still got to win this game. But I think we can pull this off. Von Meekins keeps it. Don't fumble. All right, that's going to make it 3rd and 8, but Cam Lock is getting pressed once again. They're going to have to get a second guy over there. Enrique Cautran. Turn up field, dude. I can't say much because I'm pretty sure Stephen Ogden would have done the same thing. This is why Ben Nava is our kicker, though. Because he can hit stuff like this. No. No. It's in. Thank goodness. I really thought I just gassed him up for him to blow our opportunity to have a 2-possession lead in this one. Throw at the last second. That's fine. Just keep that clock running. This time, we're going to make sure that we got some quarterback contains out there. Except he's taking off and he's getting good blocks too. Why is he reaching the ball out like that? Mo Kamalu's emoting on us mid-play down by 10. I don't understand it. If you're going to at least do stuff like that, you need to be able to beat UMass. Marco Saunders is having such a good season, by the way. Throw a pick. Throw a pick. It is now 3rd and 24. I'm willing to give up the hitch, but we don't want to give up a big pass like that. If they just ran this, they should be able to pick it up, but they didn't run the ball, and I had to get off of him. I had to get off of him. Notre Dame comes out for an onside kick, though. I should have known. They're down by 3 still. And they only have 2 timeouts. We're going to be able to scoop this one up. We want to be in field goal range. With them knowing that the run is coming, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to move the chains, but we do. First play, we move the chains. That pretty much does it. We're going to beat the Irish. The only thing that could cost us is if EA hit us with an injury timeout after this next run. So that's why we took a timeout to make sure that everybody is fresh. We're literally just running a fullback dive. We don't want it to be easy for someone to get hurt. And that is going to do it. The last play we might take in for a touchdown. We didn't make it there. It would have been a little bit disrespectful, but we're going to be the best independent team. Another great game out of Cam Lock. He opened up the second half right. And it all comes down to this final week. We have an opportunity to beat the number 10 team in the country. I think we would jump above Penn State if we took them down, which would put us in the playoff. But here's the thing. This is not a home game. We're headed on the road. It's a real final test if we deserve to be a playoff team or not. They have the best offensive line that we have faced all year. They also have a very talented receiver in Josh Perryman. But their starting quarterback is injured, except I think Dame Abraham, their backup, is a little bit better than the starter. I'm not sure if that really helps us that he's out. At least their receiving core drops off pretty far after Josh Perryman. And we'll just see what happens. The fact that we're even competing for a playoff spot in year 5 is enough to amaze me. I will say, though, I have not had the best of days. What I have done myself has not amazed me. I'm pretty upset at myself. All because I learned a very valuable lesson that I'm just going to rant about as we try and get a stop on this first drive. Typically, when I rant, we end up getting stopped. So if you notice the background change, I moved about 4 or 5 months ago. And if you've never moved before, what comes with moving is always so much more than you would expect. There's a ton of stuff that has to get done, and you end up forgetting some things. When I moved to this place, there was a setup that had all my utilities on it. It made it really easy to fill everything out. I thought everything was set in stone. So that's the backstory. Also, we just have to mention the fact that we held Penn State to a 3-and-out. Incredible start. Clearly, I need to keep rambling. Anyway, so as you do, I'm just getting a solid stream going. I'm there in the bathroom this morning. Everything is flowing right. But when I go to flush the toilet, it doesn't go down. So then I go to wash my hands. Water doesn't turn on. I'm like starting to wonder what's happening. I go to my other sink. Water not turning on. I'll get back to all that in a second, but first we got to lock in for this 3rd down. Cam Lock beat the press. Cam Lock beat the press. Save us, buddy. Save us, buddy. Okay, anyway, my water is not working. It's not going to flush the toilet. It's not coming out of the sink. I don't know what's going on. My first thought is there's just some construction or something that went wrong that has shut off my ability to get water here. But I looked at the outages maps online in Louisville, and there was nothing. touchdown, by the way, for this team. We're up 7-0. What an incredible opener. Back to what I was saying. So I'm still not able to figure out why my water's not turning on. But eventually I get to thinking, and I can't remember ever signing up for a water company. I can't remember where I got water from. I set all this stuff up, so it should be pretty easy to find, but I didn't even have it listed in any of my passwords. And that's when the real issue dawned on me, but we still got to stop them on this 3rd and inches first. Last time they went for a sneak, they did it again. And Penn State needs to get more creative with their play calling if they want to have success against UMass. This is not the same UMass team from the past few seasons. So eventually I just connected the dots that I hadn't been set up on water, or I hadn't been paying a water bill. Since I'd been using water for months, it was the latter. I hadn't paid my water bill ever since I moved. No one ever said anything. The company did not alert me. We're getting stopped on 3rd and 8. And so after 4 to 5 months of not paying my bill, they decided we were just going to shut this guy's water off. But they didn't even give me anything in the mail. There was no email. There was nothing that was like, hey, you need to pay your water bill. So I just didn't know it existed. That probably sounds like a pretty stupid thing to do as a 23-year-old. Fumble, fumble. Everything's going great. We're continuing the story. And granted, it was stupid, but here's what I've done. When I was 18, I got the advice to put 6 months of savings in a checking account and basically don't touch it. That'll cover for bills you need in the future. I'd worked up until I was 18, so I'd saved a good bit. But what that account turned into when I moved out when I was 20 was my account to have auto pay turned on, so I don't have to manually go in and pay each bill every month, because I'll probably forget. So as far as I've been concerned in my life, every bill is under those auto pays, and I'll just fill up that account with more money whenever it needs to have some more in there. I can't touch that money for anything else, so I know I'll have enough to at least cover for that at the end of every month. But it leads to a pretty big problem. I wasn't aware that there was no money coming out to cover for a water bill every month. So I just assumed it was being paid and I set it up. Turns out that was not the case. They were not too happy with me, and it was just a lesson to be on top of things more. I've also realized how much I've taken for granted just having water in the first place. Without it, there is so much you cannot do. And things have been going so well up until like the last minute. We're getting a holding call here, just bringing that run all the way back. They had that passing touchdown. So I can feel the momentum switching. But yes, that is what has gone on in my day. It was not a great time. Please block, and don't let go of it. I will say, if there's any good advice out of that story, outside of just pay your bills, which seems like pretty common sense, if you can, especially when you're young and still able to live with your parents, just save up as much as you can. Always known that 6 months of expenses will be taken care of is a really big deal. But it's hard, especially not touching it for anything else when you might really want to. Penn State is about to tie things back up unless this punt just sat at the 0. That ball was literally about to sit half an inch away from the end zone, but instead we could get a pick. That drop hurt. 2nd and 10. Penn State quickly out to the flat. We got the tackle, and here we go. 3rd down. Hasty isn't covering the drag well. He jukes into a tackle. So we have avoided Penn State putting together a good drive against us while getting it before the end of the half. We have 3 minutes that we're going to need to get rid of, which is much easier said than done. They're only sending 3 at us for this play, so I figured we could hit Thad Wade. And what else have I been up to? I just started watching Stranger Things. I saw everyone super excited about the finale. When I was younger, I watched the first couple seasons, but never really looked into any more. I've made it to season 1.5-ish. I really don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it off, though. Check down to Brandon Hood. It's going to be 4th and 3. And last time they put us in this spot, we weren't as aggressive. We have 8 first downs to their 3 in this game, though, so I figured we should trust our offense a little bit. And if you all have any TV recommendations, I would love to hear them. You can't say Landman. One, because I like to have like 3 to 4 seasons of a show done. That way I know I'll have something that I'll be able to watch for a little bit without waiting on more episodes. And 2, if you've watched Landman season 2, I don't know why it's just not hitting the same as it was for me in season 1. You need to get a little bit more done with the oil. I promise I will watch that show until it goes off of air, though. Strictly because of the cast. The cast is that bad. I mean, they just brought in another new girl. They're like all blonde, so it's my type. And that just tends to make a show a little bit better to watch. Penn State shedding off at the tackle, but he still tripped over his own feet. So we might be able to keep them to just a field goal. I'm expecting them to get that here. Breaking 2, but we'll see what happens. Even that's not guaranteed. I want to take Sharp and make sure that no corner routes got open against us, and they have to spike the ball to stop this clock. If Sharp gives up anything big over the middle, that's where our issue is going to lie. And I just realized they are not in field goal range, though they got multiple receivers just behind that zone. If they make a mistake, though, with no timeouts, they won't get a field goal. And that's why Dane Abraham Abraham just threw that ball away. It is going to be 21-10. I'll take that every day of the week. I also think this episode is going to air right before the national championship, so we can talk about some updated college football stuff, like Kentucky putting together a good transfer portal class. I also think it's hilarious. There are real people out there that believe Indiana is cheating, and that's why they're as good as they are. Kurt Cignetti is a unicorn. I don't know how we are ever going to see anything happen like this again. But maybe Will Stein at Kentucky is going to do that. It's a little bit of delusional faith. We can't be fumbling this ball back to the Nittany Lions. In my opinion, it was worth it to get that first down. But now that we've given that up, and they're about to have a rushing touchdown first play, I just had a voice crack too. I'm frustrated, man. We were literally in full control of this game, and now we're just hoping that Penn State doesn't hit a quick throw. That does make me think they're going to do the same on the 2-point conversion, though, because it was the same formation. So that'll at least keep it a 5-point game. Darren Gold is starting to get a little bit shut down, though. This halfback screen, he had to run back so far for. I'm surprised he made it that far. And on third down, Thad Wade is wide open, but he can't turn the corner. At least we've continued to be pretty consistent on offense. We're easily outgaining the Nittany Lions, which we are going to keep doing. It's been so many runs as well. Cutting it to the outside. Just needed a little bit more time there. Underneath, Cam Locke is going to have that separation to get the first. And Penn State in cover 2 means we should be able to run. I really don't want just a field goal here. I want the touchdown. But 3rd and 9s make that very difficult to pull off, unless we can drop it into the bucket. 60 receiving yards for Thad Wade now, and Darren Gold has a wide hole to take. It's no question he's going to finish that one off. Winning this game would make my day a little bit better. I was getting to the other corner route. Could have been a C route too, though. It took a while for it to develop. Diving tackle. Just wanted to slow him down a little bit. There is still an entire quarter to play. Without having a conference championship game, this is literally it. It's our final chance to prove we belong in the playoffs. So as good as a win would be over Penn State, what I also want to see is a win by multiple scores. I just feel like the committee could take some of that into account. We just need to hold them on 3rd and 4th down. Sharp was ready. If he decided to go short, we can hit stick him too. But that's where I was about to get real aggressive, until we just ran offside. No one has worse luck than me moving guys into the box and then getting clicked onto the defensive lineman that ultimately gives them 5. I was so confident they were about to run the football, and there was 0 chance they were going to convert. They could run it on 3rd and 4, but they decided to go for a screen pass instead. It was the right decision. Just chipping away at our defense one play at a time. Hitch is not there, though, and he keeps on looking to run. Can he fumble like we do? For most of this game, Dane Abraham has not leaned on his legs much, but that has changed at the very end of it. We got a flat there. There's just no world where you're going to be able to complete that pass, and they're losing 5. On 3rd and goal, I can see him underneath, but it's an overthrow. It's an overthrow from the backup quarterback. Atwell has an opportunity to take this for 6. There's no way that offensive lineman is faster than him. I can't believe Mike Atwell just got hawked down by an offensive lineman. I guess the junior linebacker needs to get quicker. One step closer to a multiple possession win, though, if this block from Cam Locke holds up and he's able to get another. Who knows if that could have actually gone for 6. Darren Gold is out. Darren Gold is gone. For my first game of the day, I'm very happy with the way we play. This is the exact type of momentum that we need headed into the college football playoff. At the very last second, he once again is scrambling. But you know what? We could also adjust and put a quarterback spy out there on the field, which is something that we just haven't done. 2nd and 5, the short route underneath is there. But it's okay. Penn State still needs a lot more. And I think they have figured out how to beat our quarters coverage, so we are going to switch it up a little bit. We had a chance at the sack. Just no luck in it. Quick out route, 3rd and 3. I can promise you one thing. We're not going to get beat by a quarterback scramble. We might catch this, but instead we just dropped the ball. They're pitching it backwards on 4th and 3. That is going to do it. We closed it out exactly how I wanted to. I feel like the committee would be doing a real disservice to UMass if they left us out of the playoff. Darren Gold had 4 rushing touchdowns, 132 yards. And I have just learned, after all the success the Minutemen had this season, we're losing both our offensive coordinator and our defensive coordinator. We don't know what jobs they're taking yet, but Old Dominion's quarterback, Larry Lake, won the Heisman Trophy with 32 passing touchdowns. That's a little bit low for him to win the Heisman Trophy. We are getting a rematch against Louisville. And this is perfect because I felt like in that first matchup on the road at their stadium, we're going straight back there. if we just played better defensively, if we weren't doing stupid things on offense, we should have easily won. I'm also a big fan of all the options we have for coordinators. This is on the offensive side of things. And Pete Lembo is the perfect fit because strategist will allow us to maintain more of our guys. Then on the other side of the ball, there is just one obvious choice. If we didn't go after the former Rutgers head coach, it just wouldn't make sense. Both of these guys coach in the Northeast region, so those pipelines are going to be very helpful. At the moment, it looks like we're going to close out on about 22 players. We did get locked out of this one corner. Even with a late push, it just wasn't going to happen, the comeback. But I'm happy with this class in total, even though we only have a few 4-stars. It's a lot of depth that we're going to need in the future. Texas, our other loss, ended up winning the SEC, finishing 12-1. So we had 2 very quality losses. Tulane is currently undefeated. And if we could have just been seated above BYU, I would have loved to play them in the first round. But like I said, I want to rematch the Cardinals. I just hope that they're getting Von Meekins at his best, which is not only through the air this season. On the ground, he has 9 rushing touchdowns, which is the second most on this team. Plus, I don't think anybody's ever had 15 receiving touchdowns. Cam Locke with an incredible year so far. Thad Wade is our number 2 target. Then the drop-off is quick, but that's because guys like Bryce Kroom drop the football. We are more of a run-heavy team. Darian Humphreys leads this team in interceptions. Does that say 12 sacks for Marco Saunders? If he didn't return, this defense would have been bad. There's no other way to put it, and he was not supposed to be our best guy. This is just a reminder of what the Louisville offense is looking like with Earl Ruffin out there with an 85 speed running back. He feels quicker than that. He is injured. And that's actually a nightmare situation for us because Max Atwell is injured as well. They're down to a 78 speed running back. I can't believe it. They're also missing a right tackle, so they won't be running the ball well. And that's just the hope that I needed as we hop into this game. We head to Cardinal Stadium, and we are hopefully getting our revenge. It's so painful knowing we could have been hosting a playoff game in Massachusetts as well if we just didn't lose to either Louisville or Texas. But no matter the outcomes, we need seasons like this to continue building our team better and better. I'd like us to win at least a playoff game. I don't expect us to make a run for a championship, but if that happens, just retire everyone's number. Because I think preseason, this team would have been projected to go like 8-4. With the schedule we faced, probably even lower than that. We got multiple reads on the RPO. But we were waiting on Cam Locke to get open, and we're not going to do that again. Why is there a flag? Of course there is holding. This is not what we want to see. Maybe Louisville will be dumb enough, though, to go with some man-to-man coverage. They got their pressure. And I have not forgotten about how difficult it is to stop Earl Ruffin. That is a name I don't want to see. He didn't win the Heisman Trophy, but he still had a pretty incredible year, especially when you consider the guys he is working with at Louisville are not that great. It doesn't matter, though. As long as they get a little bit of separation, he is going to find them with ease. And this is 2 plays in. This is 2 plays in. We're getting toasted. There is a solution in my mind, though, and he's open. He is open. Cam Locke wide open. They fell for the play action. They thought we were going to hand that off. And when you're pressing one of the best streak merchants in the country, it's not going to go well for you. I do think anything that has to do with match coverage, though, is just going to have to disappear the way he dissects our pass coverage. And they're really not running the football at all. That's a big stop. I don't know why teams think quarterback sneak is going to work against us. I feel like we rarely give it up. And let's see how aggressive Louisville gets. They tried to send in pressure. Won't work. The last time we played Louisville, Cam Locke had himself a day. He's going to continue to. And they're going to have to give him so much attention if they want to stop him. Either he's going to be open or Darren Gold is going to be open. I'd prefer if we just don't talk about that interception at all. And we can't be giving this up. We just can't be. We were way too confident through the air. They're going cover 1, but they are still going to double team him in the process. That's going to leave Thad Wade with plenty of space to run, making up for our pick. But I really don't know how I feel about letting Von Meekins continue to air it out after that turnover. I mean, he has the motivation to help us bounce back, but that was a rough screenplay for us, and I'm not going to make the mistake of throwing another one unless it is just right there like it was for this touchdown. We're going to keep that ball to ourselves. This run just can't be successful, but they got us so hard. I cannot believe that our best rusher on paper, Nick Quigley, just got his first sack of the season. But that is how we are going to end this first quarter. And I was assuming they would try to pull us down again. It won't go anywhere. We know the game at this point. We're dropping our guys back, and they're taking another sack. Just like our first matchup, though, we have already had our moments where we've done stuff that could cost us. So we need to make sure that this drive goes well. And weirdly enough, the best way for us to do that is going to be through the air. These corners are not able to stick with our guys at all, and if they do, then Von Meekins just takes off. He's going to fight his way in. So the junior is trying to be the best quarterback in this playoff game. And if you just ignore the most obvious interception of all time, then he has been so far. Big 3rd and 9. We wanted to make sure that slant didn't get enough. And Earl Ruffin still threw it, knowing that there were multiple guys in the area. This is a high kick. There's going to be a flag. And it says Louisville has the football, but I think they bumped us. We accept the penalty, and we keep it pushing. Good route from Bryce Krim. Maybe he'll be able to beat that corner deep as well. If not, Von Meekins sees man-to-man coverage. What else is he going to do? We really got lucky finding him in the transfer portal, because when we were using pocket passing quarterbacks, it's just true that the UMass offense was not as good as it has been with Von Meekins, even though he's turned the ball over a lot throughout his career. We have really enjoyed his rushing ability. We're going to throw that one to Thad Wade, and he puts it in. I really don't see how Louisville is going to come out on top of this one. I mean, Earl Ruffin is going to have to start having a legendary game. But instead, he almost threw us an interception. That run is going nowhere. On 3rd and 12, we might have dropped Mafu down a little bit too far, but they're literally just throwing it up. And we're playing this ball. We're playing it. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to score 35 points before the end of this first half. The blocks looking good for Bradley Soto, who's at the 47. And it's just simple. Man-to-man coverage. We know Cam Lock will get open. Not that simple, though. We're going to need a little bit more time. And this is where Von Meekins really can shine. He only got 3 yards. We'll take it, though. A slant to Cam Lock is the obvious decision. And we should be able to pick this up on the ground. We tried to take some time off, too, but we just didn't get there. We can't get there for that tackle. And that's a game-changing call. We were in flow state. I didn't think anything would go wrong. Confidence is typically good. It just didn't help us in that scenario. But we'll see what happens. Louisville still has to be able to score. I will say that completion is pretty concerning, but they have no one deep. And so if we're dropping our guys back, if we are pass committing, who is he going to throw to? He has no choice but to try and force it somewhere or just throw it away. He couldn't take one of those drags. They had no timeouts left. So we're only going to be up by 11. But I'm still fine with that. Being up by double digits in a playoff game at halftime is great. They are getting the ball first in this 3rd quarter, though, which means they could get it back within a possession. And I was about to get real worried about our tackling. It wasn't looking good. Back-to-back big plays. Cardinals looked like they were going to run, but Earl Ruffin decided the best way to get 2 yards there was just going to be throw the ball. He's going to try and hit that in-breaking route, but DeVoe has already seen that once in this game, and he wasn't going to ruin his opportunity to just take that ball away and put us in a great position. Darren Gold could have taken that one to the crib, or at the very least gone for like 30 yards. Instead, that is back-to-back plays where I feel like he's been a little bit of a letdown, so we'll find him in the flat, breaking off a tackle. We're then coming out and we're literally just throwing this football up. We'll see if they were ready for it. I see no one. I see no one. It's also a fumble. Hang on. What can we do? Juke him. We didn't juke. I might not be taking Louisville as seriously as I should, just because it was a very easy first half to score. And they're pressing Cam Lock on a 3rd and 18. So there's no read that needs to be made here. We're just going to go over to him. That's 258 passing yards now. Just want to throw that out there. Von Meekins has also thrown for 4 touchdowns in this game, and it's about to become 5. All in all, he is doing exactly what you want your quarterback to do in the playoff. While Earl Ruffin has been a letdown compared to what he was doing in the first game. To be fair to him, though, when you're using your 3rd-string running back, it really limits what you can do. We just aren't threatened by the run. Even if they could find some success with it, we can prepare for the pass every play. The worst he's going to do is bust off like a 5 to 10 yard carry, going over to the flat. He doesn't have the talent to get around him. Now that it's 2nd and 12, all of those routes were short. That won't do anything. So they better have some real good route combo cooked up, but they can't even connect. This is the worst decision they could make as well. From the 38, they're not attempting a field goal. They're not going for it. They're kicking down by 18. It's going to leave 1 second in this 3rd quarter, which makes a difference for burning through clock. But I just can't imagine Louisville is going to come back. I feel pretty confident in us closing it out, because if they decide that they're going to guard the run, well, we'll just throw. I can't stress enough how nice it is having Cam Lock on this team. Enrique Cochran getting a catch. And it's like every play I am threatening them with a deep ball to Cam Lock. They're literally dropping 2 guys back on him almost every time. The entire field is open for us. Darren Gold needed to cut that a little bit quicker. But you know who they don't have double coverage on most of the time? Thad Wade. This is what he should score a touchdown on. But he really messed that up. They're bringing a blitz, and we can trust Cam Lock here. No, we can't. I feel like we might as well go for this. I'm not going to be too upset if we don't convert, but Thad Wade just routes up 15. And forget running the football. We're dropping back. Well, that did not work there. Looks like Von Meekins is going to have to decide to use his legs. And Cam Lock's about to get open versus this man-to-man coverage. There's no way they're going to lock him down. I mean, they technically did, but there was plenty of PI involved, which is why they threw a flag. So Von Meekins gets his 10th rushing touchdown of the year. We're eventually going to get the Cardinals to a 4th down. Game on the line for them. And that's when Earl Ruffin shows that he can still do some stuff. They're in. I respect the effort, but it is a little bit too late for that. What a catch from Bohanna. If his progression goes well during this offseason, the senior is going to be a big receiver for us next year. I don't think Louisville is even going to call timeouts, though, once we pick up this first down. They just accepted defeat, and we're still deciding to try and run up the score on the last play, but we didn't make it. Either way, we got exactly what we were looking for. And Von Meekins needs to do this in the next round too. During the course of Cam Lock's career at UMass, he has set the career receiving yards record. But he did nothing in his first 3 years compared to what he has done as a senior. It's just such an amazing leap forward. As for our next opponent, I don't think we played Clemson this year. But just looking through their schedule, I'm trying to compare it to some of our common opponents. They also lost to Louisville. They beat Pittsburgh, which doesn't surprise me. I don't see any crazy wins outside of beating Miami in the conference championship. I guess they took down Georgia to open up the season too. What worries me is Texas is on our side of the bracket if we were to get through the Tigers. At least we know for next year our coordinator hires are going to be good. And just look at what we're going up against, having to face off against LaMarcus Sullivan. He is a 96 overall quarterback. He threw for 4,100 yards this season, only 6 interceptions, just something to keep in mind. They also have 5 receivers above a 90 overall, but their running back room was weak. I don't think it's going to matter when they pass for 315 yards per game. That is clearly what direction they're going to go. But now that it's a neutral site game, we won't have to worry about stadium pulse the rest of the season. What we will have to worry about is an extremely talented passing offense that Clemson has. We need to stop. And they're throwing the football over 76% of the time. I don't even know if it's worth it for us to bring guys down into the box like we're going to stop the run, but they did hand it off. And I just have to hope we're not dropping one of our safeties too low. Can't imagine this is going to be back-to-back runs. Watching both of those underneath routes, we force a fumble, and we scoop it up. We scoop it up with Lutris. He's at the 15. What a start for the Minutemen. That is what we needed. We might be headed to the semis. What's so cool about this dynasty is we have spent this entire season playing against some of the best teams in the country. So come playoff time, we're prepared to face teams like this. Though 3 straight passes is a little bit crazy. Motioning him out, we wanted Cam Lock in isolation. And just a few more yards will put us in. Clemson trying really hard to not let that happen. They even got a hand on that pass. But I have faith that either Von Meekins is going to step up and get in himself, or he would have threaded the needle. Clemson only ran a couple offensive plays, so they didn't have long against us. But so far, I'm not seeing this elite passing offense. Marco Saunders gets the sack. It's going to be 3rd and 8. And I feel like we're about to get them off of the field, though we got to get over to that deep post, and we do. We do. It would have been better field positioning if we could have just held on to that ball. But only so much can be working out as well as it has. The Tigers have been smarter about how they handle Cam Lock. They're not pressing. So we're running the football a little bit more. We got the seam. It's just off target. Von Meekins is selling. Every so often, he just has these moments. And that hurts us a lot. Trying to pull us down. They're able to get about 10. More importantly, we're focused on not giving up anything too deep. But sometimes Tim Golden coverage is just not the guy you think he'd be. That's why we have to be the one to control him. Wide receiver screen. We're going to knock him backwards. And this is where we get Clemson off of the field, except they found the space between our zones, and he sheds us off like it's nothing. That's far from ideal. We're running straight into this line now. And that's the first time that Darren Gold has been able to take a lot of space. So far, it's been pretty hard to run. We got blessed that we started our first drive in such great field positioning. But Von Meekins just held on to the ball because he couldn't tell whether or not that cornerback was in a blitz. That's really frustrating because they're going to get a pick off of this 3rd and 17 too. We tried to get it the Thad way. And I can't imagine that anything else was going to get open there. But we double teamed the flat and didn't look for the hitch. LaMarcus Sullivan starting to get a little bit hot, and so are some of the Tigers, which is why we just need to not get fooled by some misdirection. Make it hard to pick up the first down. 3rd and 2. It's going to be a run. We make the tackle. And I really hope that Dabo Swinney has not focused on signing kickers. He has. How we respond back, though, is a big deal, and they were all over Thad. I thought they were more committed to guarding our flat, and he was going to get a huge gain. At least we'll get it with gold. So we're just going to keep on going back to him. Von Meekins is currently cold, so that's why you know we have to run the football. And we should have Bryce Kroom on his zig route. We could also have Cam locked. But he drops the ball, and I believe we just need to go for it on 4th and 3. There we go. Then they're going to hit us with cover 1, so we're going to time that throw early, putting us at the 25, now the 21. If we're smart about this clock, Clemson won't see this ball again to end the first half. But I also really liked how this play was looking pre-snap. If we want to win this game, I don't think we kick here. We're going to look for Bryce Kroom off of the slant immediately, and it's just not a good pass. That is 2 throws in this game already that have been really bad from us. And the last thing we needed to do was give Clemson time to score again. It's important to keep in mind, though, we do get ball at the end of this half, and we're going to get the interception. Darian Humphries, pick 6. What a play from the senior. That's why we've kept him out there all year. Our defense is carrying so hard in this one. 2 big turnovers have changed everything. It's weird because the week before, it was all on our offense, but Clemson is prepared. They watched a lot of film. They did their research, watching that drag throw out to Tim Gold or throw us another pick. We have a decision to make after all of that. Do we want to try and score before halftime? There's only 33 seconds, and we're risking an interception or a turnover. For all we know, we'll fumble the ball, but I feel like it is worth it for us, especially if we just take our space. 16 seconds now, just going for an inside zone that they're on. So you know what? We're going to call a timeout, leaving just 1 second left on the clock, and then we're going to throw this one up to the end zone to see if we can get lucky with the Hail Mary. We came close. Either way, we are in control of this game, mainly because of Darian Humphries and that fumble. But our ability to run the football against Clemson has been pretty rough. That's why we're starting with the halfback screen. And look at that left side of the field. It is wide open if these blocks hold. One-on-one, Darren Gold, and some defender that won't tackle him. His numbers really don't look that bad, but I just feel like the sheds from Clemson have been all over the place. We have to attack number 70. And whenever we hold our blocks like that, it's much better. We just can't run into 92. On 3rd down, we should have Enrique Cotran. But he drops the ball, and it's a slow meter for this field goal. This is a very hittable kick for us, except we had too much power. Ben Nava's cracking under pressure. Ben Nava is holding us back. What is this explosiveness? I was talking bad about their running backs. He's still fighting. And it feels like Clemson has gotten their groove back, but we have 2. It is our 3rd sack of this game. Not going to be a run, except he immediately decides to scramble after. And that's the smartest I've seen the computer handle that all day. 3rd and short. It's another one. It's another one. Is this guy just blind? We really should be up by so much more than we are. We got lucky. Clemson couldn't score there, and this is an opportunity for Darren Gold. I don't like the formation that we're about to run into, though. And I can't believe they got hands on us there. Shooting through immediately. 3rd and 7. If this ends up being man-to-man, our first throw is Cam Lock. If it's not him, well, I didn't have a plan for it. He dropped it? I feel like everybody on our offense is playing their absolute worst. We need them to just be decent. That's all it's going to take. I mean, Clemson has literally been begging us to head to the semifinals, but we just haven't been able to make those clutch plays. Even with all of our mishaps, though, we're still in front, and our defense is giving up a deep post. We went cover 6 there, and they had a post to that side. I should have never left Devin DeVoe on an island against any of these receivers, but I just wasn't thinking about it. We've run match all season. And a nice little keeper from Von Meekins. Just nowhere to go, though. I don't want to run into 5-star players, so we're going to drop back. And worst case scenario, he uses his legs again. If that's what it's going to take to get this game done and move on to the semifinals, then we're doing it. Not a great ending to the 3rd quarter, though. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we've only been able to pass for 50 yards in this game. Typically, we'd be at like 200. So I'm glad we got a nice completion there on 3rd and 4. Darren Gold has it. And it says they're in cover 3, but that doesn't account for leaving Thad Wade open. We need 10 yards to finish off this drive, though. It's the worst spot to be on a 1st and goal. And we really need them to just get super aggressive and leave our bubble open. Well, we can't throw an interception. We just got to keep that in mind. We'll wait to see if anything is there, but I didn't see much. Ben Nava, don't miss another kick. I really thought the senior, who's been amazing his whole career, was about to crumble when it mattered the most, but he's not. They're just effective with this run. What? Jimmy Jordan is wanting it more. All of these underneath routes, and the spin is clean. I am very aware there's only 3.5 minutes left in this game, so we need to make sure they don't pick this up, and they don't take a lot of clock with them. Watching all of these routes, we almost had the sack, but that's fine. We are in position with 3 minutes left to win this one with a Ben Nava field goal. They also just had a horrendous punt. 1st down nowhere. If we're going to win this playoff game, we have to have some success on this drive at some point, and Bryce Kroom drops it. He is literally the most useless receiver in school history. I might just have Von Meekins scramble for it. Go, Von Meekins. I tried to slide. His legs might just win us this game. Read option as well. Oh my gosh, it's filthy. It's filthy. We are now in Ben Nava range. All we have to do is start forcing Clemson to use those timeouts. And they don't even seem to be aware that we're just settling for 3. After that run, though, they figured it out. So we need to pick this up, and we got our drag. He gets his feet down. Okay, we can do 3 straight runs at this point. I don't care whether we get the first down or not. We're going to center things up for a field goal, and we're going to head on to the semifinals. I can't believe we've done this as the 10 seed. We took down Louisville, a team we couldn't beat in the regular season, and now we're taking down Clemson, assuming they don't block the kick. That might have been premature. I feel like when the other team gives you a free 7, you can't pass up on it. All they have is 24 seconds left to score a touchdown themselves. They don't have any timeouts. Their quarterback is getting hit with a flag. And what a horrendous game from him. I can't imagine being a senior and going out like it. It is fair to say that LaMarcus Sullivan has literally lost his team this game. Are you kidding me? Darian Humphries, you got to come up with that ball. We're stuck on the defensive line, so we might give up another big game. You can't give up the seam. Just get a hand on it. We got a hand on it. Mafu has the interception. I don't think this is a safety, so it's done. It is done. The Minutemen are strapping up, headed to the semis, and they're going to be strapping up tonight too because we play things safe. I hope that we're facing Texas. I want a chance to get revenge on them too. Well, that is how things are going to unfold. And I was just taking another quick look at the bracket. I noticed that USC hung 73 points on Alabama. That's just mental. This is a refresher of what that Texas team looked like. We were not able to stop their offense. But more importantly, until the 4th quarter, we also weren't scoring much against them. So we got to come out solid on the offensive side of things. They average almost 160 more passing yards per game than us. That is just a shocking stat to see. But we've already made it this far. There's no reason that we can't continue to win. Is it great for the series? Not really, because I'd love to see the series go for a lot longer, but I'm going to try my hardest. I set myself up with an impossible challenge, and I wasn't sure how long it'd take to get here. We know that we're losing some of our most impactful guys as well, and we still got to play 10 top 25 teams every year. So it could be a real challenge to get back to this moment. We got to make the most of it. Darren Gold already at midfield. I am becoming a believer that we could win it all, even after that performance against Clemson. It really wasn't what we needed offensively, but the runs from Von Meekins have been effective. We truly should have had that first down, though. He's just going to pull this one and go down, with the hope that Texas expects another run, and then we can find the seam. Is this going for too much? It was going for too much. It was going for way too much. I'm not sure where that confidence just came from, but he threw it. And let's not add any more balls to that sword. If he just had a stronger arm, that would have been successful. I think that's the most frustrating part about it. The sliders also have an impact on plays like that. But it does make sense when his throwing accuracies are about an 80 overall. Lorenzo Eaton already figuring out how to get around our stock cover 3. I think we're going to stay in stock cover 3. I just can't imagine there's much else we'd really do. What? No, EA. We're going to watch that in replay because that could not have been a better user play on my part. I genuinely don't even know what to say about this. It's in his hands. It's a gift. It is wrapped in a basket. He's gone. It's like a present, and he just drops it. That would have made up for our original interception. And yes, Sharp is going to make that clutch tackle, but can we get them off of the field on 3rd and long, bouncing off of 1? Okay, you know what? It's not a pick 6. It's not going to be easy for us to score like it would have been if we just caught that ball. But at least the Longhorns haven't been able to do anything yet either. I'm afraid we might go for back-to-back runs, though, and get absolutely nowhere. Thankfully, the hole opened up, and it could not be more obvious. Give Darren Gold as many carries as possible. If he's not limping by the end of the day, we have not done our job properly. I want him to be sore. I want it to be hard for him to walk. He needs to give us his all. Even when he loses a yard on a carry like that, I'm confident. We'll give him a direct snap. We'll let him try and cut things to the outside, and he can turn this into a big play. The game is in his hands. Ball is in his court. No other way to say it. We're also letting Soto go for 15. If Texas isn't going to stop the run, well, they're going to lose. It's as simple as that. We're currently dominating against their line. Going to be 3rd and 1. But we're not throwing the football. I'm not letting Von Meekins ruin this run. It's only the end of the 1st quarter, but he's got 81 rushing yards. He is on pace for 324. And I believe Darren Gold can get that done. We've seen him do it in a game. Maybe that was Brandon Hood, though. Somebody rushed for like 300 yards against UConn. The route from Cam Locke. got open. It was just a hard connection to make, so we're testing him again. And they're on it. The worst part about that is we had the step there too. He beat the press. Von Meekins just didn't place it where we wanted him to in the back corner of the end zone. An underthrow there is going to cost us 4 points, but at least we're on the board. At the very least, we score. We're just going to wait for a mistake out of Texas. And most teams on a 3rd and inches would go for a quarterback sneak, but not the Longhorns. I'm imagining a run's coming, so we're there. We're there. No, we're not. They had an RPO drawn up. Then they've just hurried things up, so yeah, they're going to get off more quick passes. We're not going to be able to counter them if they keep on quick hiking us, and there's a big gain for the Longhorns. We actually might need to burn a timeout if they get another big play here, just to slow down all of their momentum. They've had a lot of big ones in a row. Touchdown wouldn't be there, but it was a close call. You never know when they're going to test it. I figured they were about to run the ball, but instead, they hit the curl. And what's weird is before the snap, Eaton did a little motion with his foot, which is what quarterbacks do in this game before they run. We couldn't predict the play correctly, though. 2nd and goal. Almost was a sack. And what did we learn here? We just go Tampa 2, and we protect the sticks, so Texas isn't able to get in. He's at the 1. Okay, you know what? We stop quarterback sneaks very effectively. It's going to be a run, though. It's going to be a run. I've always wondered how that defense would fare if the team decided to run instead of go QB sneak. Turns out not good. Texas countered. They've been watching film, and I don't even know if Bryce Kroom can bring that in. I think just out of pure habit, I started throwing the football again, which is why we're letting Darren Gold run. But now we're going to need Cam Locke to get open. It looks like man-to-man coverage is coming. We got the protection we needed. We'll take it. I'm actually very impressed with our offensive line there. Hopefully, we can do more than just get 3, especially if they are in man-to-man coverage, and they are. Cam Locke, touchdown. No. We tried to get him to turn upfield, but he just decided to make sure he had the catch instead. And this is where things get a little bit tight. We're not going to do a quarterback sneak because we've learned that we will fumble a lot on them. But we might just need to throw on 3rd and goal. We're going to put Bryce Kroom on a zig route. If it's man-to-man coverage, he will be open. The Longhorns will still have 2 minutes to do whatever they want with the ball, but that gives us an opportunity at the same time to get a stop and then score again as well. I thought that play was going to be a wide receiver screen. We were off with our prediction, but we've not been off too many times in this game, so we're going to keep on trying to guess. And I really think Sharp could play this RPO if they decide to throw it there. We just got to bait them, and it's going to be a seam hit instead. Out of curiosity, we are going to go man-to-man for 1 play. Any errors coming out of them? It's all locked down. That was it. That was it. That was our interception chance that we could have turned into a lot, and Sharp just got ripped. At least we have 35 seconds to do the exact same thing to them. Figured the run would work, but it only got us 6 yards, halfback screen, all of their guys dropping back. We're going to get a decent bit. I'm just really salty that Texas scored at the moment. Thad Wade is open. I think it's safe to say no touchdown for us here, but we are going to get that field goal. We just got to turn upfield with Darren Gold, and we might be able to get off 1 more quick play. We need him to go down soon. That was a close call, but an effective drive. Ben Nava drills it with ease, and at halftime, we're trailing by a point, but we are keeping it tight with Texas. It could just be so much different than this. I feel like we should be up by at least 7. I know it's asking a lot for these guys to be practically perfect, but whenever we play games like this, they got to be on top of things. It's the difference makers. It really is. What are we doing? Letting them keep going up the seam. I think we might have to start getting out of our stock cover 3, but then there's a run. Then there's a huge run. Oh, he's in. He's in. Down by 8, I see the press, and there's only one person I'm looking for whenever I see the press. There's a flag on this play, so it might be a free one. And I even think Cam Locke held onto that football with the guy knocking him down, but there was holding immediately. I'm starting to get the vibe that these refs don't want to see UMass in the national championship game. We're in the same position, though, that we just were about a play ago, and I think we're just going to run with Von Meekins. He is going to be able to take us to midfield. It's clear that Cam Locke isn't beating the press, though, so we got to return to our main offensive weapon, Darren Gold. He got a little bit more of a break in that second quarter, so he's prepared to go full throttle again. He just needed some rest, and he just got taken out, but Bradley Soto steps in for another 15. We are winning this battle up front, and we're going to keep on winning this battle up front as long as Texas doesn't send everybody to stop the run. 2nd and goal, we just need to get to the outside before all of these defenders. We make a miss, and Darren is in. I'm a little bit more concerned for our 2-point conversion plan, but it's going to have us roll out, and if it's man-to-man coverage, We got multiple routes that can beat it. He's open. He's so open. Just like that, 21-all. UMass comes out, ready to defend the run, except we're getting in the way of each other, and nobody is coming close. I swear, if it was the other way around, their defensive tackle would be chasing us down with his, like, 70 speed. Not that you should be chasing guys down with a 70 speed defensive tackle in the first place, but we knew where they wanted to go, and we just couldn't beat them to that position. Now they're at the 1. If they decide to throw, we're in a lot of trouble, but we run commit, we loaded up front. Oh, he just shedded off 2 tackles. Beautiful. That was way too quick. It was way too easy of a drive for Texas, especially with that. Darren Gold didn't get enough time to rest, so he isn't feeling as quick. It's 3rd and 8. The hope is they are in man-to-man coverage, though, and we're on the same page with Cam Lock. I'm trying to get this in-breaking route on the field. Corner. He's there. He just needed an extra second to make it. Now they're coming out in cover 1. Hang on. Cam Lock pressed. Von Meekins escaping the pressure. They were about to get a sack, but a good block from Enrique Cotran. He no longer wants to transfer away. He wants to stay with the Minutemen, and that's a good sign. Even with some of the departures that we're going to have to deal with, I think next year we're going to be just as dangerous of a team. Darren Gold will then be a senior. We'll have a more experienced running back room. And you know how we're going to start this 4th quarter. There was no other way to do it. Darren Gold at the 2. He's at 155 rushing yards in this game. It's a generational performance. You could not ask for better out of him. But at some point, we have to make the decision on whether it's better to throw it or run it. It's a free play. I saw that he was just chilling offside. I don't know what he was doing, but we'll accept this. And back at the 3-yard line, I feel comfortable running the ball. I feel comfortable running the ball. We just need our defense to get 1 stop. And I think it's time that we try and run some cover 2, but they're going to run against that too. In fact, if they're going to run, it's worse to stay in cover 2, but they pulled out that pass. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen. All right, 3rd and 13. Watching the C route. All they have is a check down. And we hit him. We hit him in time. This is our opportunity. It's an awful punt out of bounds. And it's a similar situation to last week. We just need to get in field goal range and then end the game from there. No worry with that first carry not working out too well. The second carry always seems to do decent. And you know what? This is 4-down territory. We're going for this. There's no way we're not if we don't pick this up. But Darren Gold's going to get it anyway. What he is doing on the ground right now is insane. I thought that was going to be a fumble. Seeing that ball pop out the way that it did really worried me. If we could just get even half of that back, though, on 3rd down, we'll go for it on 4th. Looks like our blocker is going to lay the hammer. We got it. And it makes sense why Bradley Soto is going to have to come in. Darren needed a breather. Read option is going to be a 3rd and 4. And he's also getting an injury timeout. This is at the worst time possible, but I think we're going to have to add Wade, and we don't. We don't. That's not going to be on target. It's not. It says Darren has bruised ribs. We have to keep him in, but they also recommended that we just take our field goal on a 4th and 4. Ben Nava is clutch. Ben Nava is clutch. A spot in the national championship is on the line. It seems like we got no run defense right now, and I am terrified to click on to some of these players because I don't want to miss this tackle. Like, what was that? No, we got to watch that one back. I feel like Sharp has just been the one selling for us. We did a diving tackle, so we have all the force. Look at this. I mean, it's kind of crazy for him to see this, but he's got the force, helmet into him, and then he just whiffs and lets up. I mean, how much longer do we leave Damian Sharp out there on the field? Well, there you have it. The junior made a very clutch tackle there, but they're sending it deep, and it's out of reach. Oh, we're good. What a hit to knock that ball loose. I'm going to just stay on Humphreys here. Corner route's not there. It's not there. Let's go. Darian Humphreys to put us in the championship. It's not over yet, but we are 1:22 away. We need 1 first down, and it's not like Texas has been stopping the run anyway. This is literally it. Bradley Soto, game on the line. Use that 94 speed and then just spin up because they're not going to expect it. That is ball game. The Longhorns have not been able to beat us twice. It is always hard to beat a teams 2 times in one season, and we're headed to the Natty with UMass. It took us rushing for about 300 yards to get the job done, just something to keep in mind. And the team that we'll be facing off against is #1 in the country. Oregon is also undefeated. What we need to worry about with the Ducks is Somahan, their quarterback, is a 98 overall. They also have a really good free safety. We do not need to be testing him deep. Their backup is one of their best players as well. But their running back room looks a little bit slow until they get to their backup running back. Their wide receiver room actually isn't all that talented. And I'm sitting here wondering how they just beat USC 35-0. Maybe I'm missing something. They perform better on the field than what their roster looks like on paper. We'll see how this turns out. First national championship game for UMass. We are 4 quarters away from taking that trophy home. And every time I think that we might be counted out, we somehow get the win. I wouldn't be shocked if Darren Gold was a little bit exhausted from that last game, but it looks like he is going to be at full health. And we are just running the ball so well. 2nd and 10 to the outside. It didn't look like it was going to be there at first, but eventually it was. And you know who it's going to be even better with? Our 94 speed running back. Why not let Bradley Soto do the exact same thing? Von Meekins was our 3rd rusher in that last game too, so we got to let him get a chance to have some carries. Everyone's getting touches. Oregon's defensive line is looking just like Texas's was, so I really like how things seem. A little bit worried for the 2nd and 9 though. We're trying to beat them to the outside, and we made it there. That is how you get around mid-blitz. It's just Darren Gold wasn't the running back for that situation. And then, when we have the running back that would have been perfect for it, he's in on the counter instead. So we got them flip-flopped, halfback direct, not getting much. And it might just be time for Von Meekins to throw the football. Cam Lock's open, though, or he's not. They got it at the last second. We tried to throw that a little bit sooner. I thought we had the touchdown. And I'm kind of just taken aback by the fact that he actually got to that ball. We're not going to get our heads down, though. You have to think. That is how the game against Texas started. We threw an interception on our first drive. But the most important thing that we learned from our first drive is we can effectively run the football. This is just setting up to work out the same way that game did. I wish we could have had one more player with a body over there. You give Somahan that much time back there in the pocket, he's going to figure out how to dissect it, and we got to get a tackle going. I think we're staying with one high safety the rest of this game, and we're just going to keep on bringing him down. That was a really, really effective pitch. But we can't give up yet because they're not in the end zone yet. There they are. Solid kick return from Bradley Soto, though. We'll start this drive on the 38-yard line, which is very good. I can just only imagine how great Darren Gold would be if he had like 5 more speed. I've been trying to throw this since we snapped the play. Enrique Cotran around 1 defender to the red zone. And this is what I'm saying. We ended that first drive in a rough manner. But our offense is clearly flying. It's not getting shut down the way that it did against Clemson. So if we get into a shootout, I trust that we can win. We will eventually get our stop against the Ducks. Nowhere to run. And it's a fumble. And it's a fumble. We're challenging it. We have to challenge it. I feel like Von Meekins was down. It didn't even register that he could fumble there. He took a late hit, though, and he just dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. The worst part is we audibled to that from a screenplay because the screenplay looks like it was going to be box. And I can't believe that they just gave them a first down off of that. We almost had that blitz. Darian Humphreys always looks for ways to just sneak in there. But this is getting ugly. I mean, they are just moving it with ease. Another first down for the Ducks, and this one was a run. We tried to fill up the holes, but he was able to get 9 yards out of it. Whenever they got this stack over on this right side, it's typically an RPO. It wasn't here. It wasn't here. Not that we would have been able to catch a pick out of it if it was anyway. We have not had luck there. And we're really just looking for a mistake. We're looking for a turnover. Hitting the running back quick, though, off of the wheel route. I rarely see teams do that, but they sure do against us. It's a keeper. And he's at the 1. Now, if they're going to come out in Wildcat, we know the run is coming. The question is just, where are they running to? And it was like we didn't even run commit there, even though we did. At least Darren Gold's only getting 3. He saw potential for a bigger play, but he should have just taken the first down. At least he'll get it on the next one. And you already know that the final drive of this half has to be us just scoring a touchdown. We cannot afford to give this ball back to Oregon and them have success. Von Meekins. What a run. Now that it's 3rd down, it looks like they're going to have some inside leverage against Cam Lock, but they have left Thad Wade open. What's this flag going to be? Am I even surprised? Am I even surprised? In the most opportune moment, holding. That's a game changer. It's not man-to-man coverage. We had him. We had him. Well, it at least wasn't man-to-man coverage over on the left side of the field where we had Cam Lock on a comeback route. Once I saw that, I wasn't going to force it to him because if it's zone, they're going to pick it. But for just a second, the seam was there. That's the same play they almost scored off of. They're running it back. They have called a timeout. And this could either be really good for us or really bad. We got a sack. We got a sack. Now we're the ones calling the timeout and just backing everybody up because most likely they're going to throw something underneath and short. We got to prevent them from picking it up. And there it is, a second opportunity to get some points before the end of this half. I almost think there's been too much running going on and not enough just slinging the rock and letting some of our guys go to work. But if Von Meekins throws an interception, then my mind on that is going to change very quick. We're looking to see a touchdown, and they're coming out in cover 4 quarters. Not sure if we'll bring it in, but we're going to need some bigger gains than that. We're trying to put Cotran just on a seam up the middle. It's not there. It's not there. The real question becomes, can we get off a little run quick and then go down, call a timeout, making this 50-yard field goal a little bit more attainable. I really hope that Ben Nava doesn't miss this. It just had enough. I cannot believe I'm saying that we're sitting at 3 points at halftime because we have played good offense, but we have literally just failed to finish drives. We have had 2 turnovers inside the 10-yard line. I mean, what more can you really do? Nothing's here. Nothing's here. Don't let him run. Well, 2nd and 5 now, and the run's stuck. So this is where we get the Ducks off of the field. It's 4 verticals. Don't take that check down. Oh, no. I hit dive. I hit dive. I hit dive. There's just so many words. You think of, like, all the dumb things I do in games, but panicking and just hitting buttons like that, it can't happen. Okay, we got to talk about Damian Sharp for a second, and then go into instant replay. I called a timeout. Why? Why am I so frazzled? I wanted him to play underneath, but he runs away from the ball, runs to the sideline, even though this guy is so open there, and just lets him easily catch this, and then misses his tackle angle. Now, once I clicked on, okay, that's on me. Some of you believe in my tackle strategy. Some of you think it's the worst ideas ever. But whenever we pull off those crazy tackles we shouldn't get like that, it's a great reason to dive over and over. We have to call a timeout. We've now wasted 2 of them in a matter of seconds, but this is the biggest 3rd down. And it's because we could not have them pick that up. If their kicker isn't solid, they're going to miss this kick. We'll be in good field positioning. He just has it. But either way, that is so much better than them making it a 3-possession game. Down like this, you would think that all nerves would need to just be gone by now. There's no pressure when you can't finish drives, and that's got to be true. Now, we can get down the field. We have proven that time and time again, but we have come short of the end zone in multiple big scenarios. I'm sure I'm going to watch those back before this goes live when I see that final cut, and I'm going to be disgusted. In fact, should I just blame it on Von Meekins? That feels like the right thing to do. It's 1st and 10. I wasn't sure where the refs were going to spot that. Oregon bringing a lot of guys down to the box. We can't run. So it might be time. It might be time to rely on some other playmakers. He's just not open. Maybe our drag will be open on this play, though. Guarded well. And this is where I have to question, do we take our field goal just because our defense will probably let the Ducks get into field goal range another time in this game? Or do we go for it on 4th and 13? And I feel like the smart decision has to be just kicking this. There's still about 9 minutes of total game time left. We know that Oregon's skill positions aren't the best. We have defended against much harder. I just feel like they've picked up on the defense that we're sitting in. Look at that tackle from Sharp. We literally placed him in the perfect position. They take a quick throw. But this is our opportunity. 3rd and 3. Is it going to be a quick bubble? It's not. They got the corner. They got the corner. I feel very justified in the fact that we kicked our field goal until now. I thought we were still going to hold them to a field goal, but nope, we're not. So it's time to just throw the ball. There's not going to be any running. We have no choice. We have to score fast. If we're going to win this game, we're just going to have to be really effective in there. I actually really like that concept, by the way, though we can't take this sack. I doubt they're even going to press Bryce Kroom the way that we want them to. Von Meekins gets the first. But it's just nuts to me. We have 6 points in the national championship game. If we just stayed in the pocket a little bit longer, that would have been open. I mean, it's all guarded. They're in before we can even make a read. Cam lock one-on-one. That might just be the ball here. That might just be the ball. Safety help. Not good. Not good. Okay, we're going to leave Bryce Kroom on that comeback. Just make it a little bit deeper in case he wouldn't have enough. Cam lock once again getting pressed. And it's man-to-man. It's man-to-man. We're still in it. 5 minutes left in this game. Thad Wade is open, and Thad Wade brings it in. I really don't think there's even a benefit for going for the 2-point conversion, but I was confident that we could pull it off until I've seen how tired we really are. What a catch. That's one thing that Bryce Kroom actually does really well. He brings in contested catches that he never should, and we're going to be watching for the bubbles. If Oregon decides to have one on the field, I thought we might be able to get a pick 6 from it. And I have my favorite defense out there, except for the fact that we're stuck. We're stuck. And now, no one is making the tackle. If I just got to my user in time before that play, I really think we would have prevented the first down. Instead, though, Oregon runs it, and they can't get a touchdown. They literally can't get a touchdown. If we hold them to 3, it's just a 2-possession game. There we go. We had to call our final timeout, though. They were just going to take it immediately down to the 2-minute timeout, and there it is. I don't even know if we stopped the Ducks in this game. I think that's the worst part about it, is the turnovers might not have mattered. We came so close so close to being able to win a national championship. But when the lights were at their brightest, Von Meekins was not clutch. It's good motivation for him returning for his senior season to actually get some stuff done. What are we even doing now? If you can't tell, we have lost all hope. We've lost all hope. Is that going to be a good throw? You know, next season, we got interesting things we could do with this offense. We're not going to have a Cam Long unless we pick one up in the transfer portal. We still got the transfer portal period coming up, and that is a huge deal because we were in the Natty. So despite a really bad performance, we are going to have some aura to UMass now where transfers want to come here. We're still only recruiting out of the Northeast region, so that is important to keep in mind. There's not that many guys that we're going to be able to get, but there will be some 4-stars. We're going to pitch them, plus all the guys on our team to just come back for another season that they could compete for a natty. They just need to believe in the Minutemen. And here's the thing. Say what you want about Von Meekins. I don't typically say the nicest things about him, but he's going into his senior year. Every single season, his quarterback rating has jumped up a bunch. His passing yards jumped up a bunch. He does have more interceptions than the year prior, but his completion percentage was better. He rushed for more yards, more touchdowns, and we will also have senior running back Darren Gold returning. Now, receiving wise, we know Cam Locke is going to be gone. Thad Wade, though, he'll be back for a senior season. That's a good sign. Bryce Kroom also graduating. So it feels like most of the pieces that were able to even get us to the national championship are going to run it back. I even figured a couple players would want to transfer just because they could earn a bigger NIL check somewhere else, but it's only one guard. And if Zeke John doesn't want to be a part of this team, it is literally going to cause zero impact. The biggest losses we're facing are, of course, wide receiver Cam Locke, right edge Nick Quigley, who had 4 sacks this season. He was our highest overall edge. We also had a really good right guard that helped us run the ball effectively. Ben Nava, I feel like you can always find other good kickers, but Mafu was a huge part of our defense. Alejandro Jimenez, big part of our defense. Marco Saunders, big part of our defense, and so was corner Daryl DeVoe. But at the same time, he had 86 speed, and I feel like a lot of these guys that are around an 80 overall will be replaceable during the transfer portal period. Darian Humphreys is another one that's really going to hurt, but now that we're down to these guys, we can say goodbye with no lost feelings. And I'm just stunned that Cam Locke only went in the 7th round alongside Nick Quigley. I thought they'd go a little bit higher, but these last 5-10 minutes of this video are all about setting up our team for season 6, where we try our hardest to win a national championship. We can now go down motivator a little bit farther, allowing our quarterbacks to be locked in close games. That's been my main focus. Then we brought in our 2 coordinators, both of them being strategists. And if they have tier 3 for a position, it will lower the deal breaker threshold that they have to maintain. Apparently, though, we're not going to have that for any of our defensive guys. So that's why I was surprised that we didn't see more transfers. Look at the school grades improving the way that they are. Stadium atmosphere is still an F, which just shows that it is broken in this game. This should increase at least a little bit, and it's going to be super easy to sign some of these 3-star transfers since they already have interest in our program before we even put hours towards them. We have $750 to spend a week. Courtney Kroom wants to come to our school. He's actually the cousin of Bryce Kroom, and he is the number 143rd receiver in the portal. But what we really want is a BJ, because BJ Batonio is a 4-star edge from Michigan. That would replace some of the edges that we lost off this past team. Our defense is going to take the biggest hit. And another interesting name isn't going to be 5-star wide receiver transfer Cardell Pepper, because he had already locked us out before we could even go after him. But the quarterback, Manny Lawton, I don't think he would start for us, but it's interesting to see what he could do. I won't be able to scout him for another week, but if he comes in and he is better than Von Meekins, I have to put him out there. We'll just see how it all turns out. It looks like we're going to have a decent chance at getting him. We also have a decent chance at BJ, but we have to do one thing. We need to schedule him for a visit. We might wait another week to see what interests pop up, but we're going to stack it with complimentaries. Right now, all we know is one of his interests is pro potential. It's a B grade, which after one more week, we've been able to narrow it down to 2 hard sells, but we can't hard sell on him yet because it could be either one of these. Typically, my strategy in these situations is just go with 2 soft sells, then you DM the player. We're going to have to schedule him for a visit with all these complimentaries on conference prestige, even though I'd much rather pitch something that has a higher grade. And maybe then we can beat out Notre Dame with their tier 4 pipeline for the rest of these guys. Like, we just had Manny Lawton on a visit in week 2. Maybe his hard sell is available, but we're going to keep sending the house since it's not. And he is going to have 83 speed with 92 throw power. Those accuracies aren't anything too impressive either. Not really loving what I'm seeing there. On Courtney Kroom, the kid from UConn, just 85 speed. And when we're facing all these top programs, that's just not going to cut it. He might be like wide receiver 4 or 5 for us. We're making a few signings before the final week of the portal. And our strategy on BJ worked to perfection. Notre Dame's not even going to have the final visit, so I think once we set Sunday player player as his hard sell, we'll get him. But most of our best talent for next season is going to have to come from either freshmen being super high overalls when they come in, which is very unlikely, or it's going to have to come from the guys that were already on our roster progressing well. I'm really not too excited about most of the players that we're going to be able to bring in. I have yet to see 4 stars. There is BJ Batonio, but we lost out on the 4-star quarterback, didn't we? He never popped up. I guess it was going to be a better fit at Penn State. He realized that he wasn't going to start for us. So we still made sure to get Doug Whitted, who's just going to be a senior backup in case things go wrong. He's got normal development. I'm not expecting to see crazy dev traits on any of these guys, though Courtney Kroom does have star. For some of these 4 stars, though, normal dev is very, very disappointing. And recruiting out of just the Northeast region has been one of the hardest parts about this entire rebuild. We can sign about a top 30 class, but we're very limited when you only have these states to choose from. And we'll see what this team looks like after player progression, but there's almost no movement that has to be made during position changes because guys are already where I want them. Now, it makes perfect sense that Darren Gold has gotten to upgrade his dev trait to star, but that was the only dev trait upgrade that we saw, and he is still sitting as an 87 overall. I really don't know what he improved because it wasn't his speed, it wasn't his elusiveness. I think the computer's so dumb that they focused on his hands and route running. But you know what? At least Von Meekins became a little bit more accurate. He's still going to struggle with the deep ball, and he never maxed it out, but it did get better. Soto's also up to 96 speed. He's still behind Glenn Biggers, who's capped out as an 87 speedster. He's a power back, though. Our receiving core has 4 guys sitting as an 84 overall. Stephen Ogden's got Platinum Press Pro. He's got Platinum Cutter, but he only has 84 speed. I was really thinking about making him just a tight end, but when you have Thad Wade, you can't do that. All in all, we have a bunch of guys with 90 speed at defensive back, which is something that we typically can't say. We also got Russ Haslam as an 85. So you'll just have to let me know down below if you think this team really improved that much or not. I'm very concerned about the future at the quarterback position. We don't have anybody once Von Meekins graduates. That's where the transfer portal could have saved us a little bit more, but we do got 35 freshmen at other positions. It's just quarterback not covered. I hope you all have enjoyed episode 5 of this UMass series, though. Our season didn't end the way that we would have wanted, but we're going to have to come back even stronger next year and hopefully make another run at the title.